Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the NECC Rocket League Playoffs. My name is Bass from the Past, and we've got another familiar face back in here today. Voltage Plays, welcome back, my guy. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I'm very excited to be here.
I hope so. It's been an exciting game so far, or an exciting day so far. We've had a 3-0 sweep from CSUDH to start it off. We apologize for all of the technical difficulties, but we're glad that you guys got to at least see the end of that series because, boy, that was a series. You mentioned this when you came into the booth. We were not necessarily expecting a 3-0 sweep to be the start to our playoffs.
Right. So from what I've seen from Alabama, they had a hard-fought game against Montana, the #1 seed in this league, and then they went to Game 5 overtime against the seed #2, but they were lower ranked. They were the 6th ranked team in the tournament here. So because they came in late to the league, they went with a win average, and that got them in to the 6th place spot. So seeing those two games against the #1 and #2, I thought that they were probably sitting 3rd overall. But seeing a sweep is outstanding for CSUDH and unfortunate for Alabama. And hopefully they come back ready and rearing for next semester.
Yeah, we're really hoping so. I mean, they had a great performance throughout the season today, but like we said, I mean, it's really one of these things where if they had just a little bit more time, they might have had a game against CSUDH where they would have been able to see them and get a little bit more familiar, but that is all in the past. Right now, we've got 2 more squads facing up for you guys. We got Becker College versus Carroll. So both of these teams, solid communities, which have had a lot of back and forth throughout this season. Both of these teams have had a number of losses and a number of wins, but it's been a little bit of back and forth. So right now, the question really kind of becomes, which one of these two teams would you bank on going into this one? Because for me personally, it's a little bit even. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a close fought battle between these two. Winner of this moves on to play Montana in round 2, but Becker College is currently sitting at 4-3, while Carroll is at 3-5. So at this point, it's a very close one, but Becker has the slight edge if you're looking at their record.
In addition to that, another big thing to note: the last time that these two teams faced off, it was over a month ago. But Becker, they 3-0 swept Carroll. So Carroll, if the record is anything to show here, they both have a record that is a little bit underneath their opponents, as well as they also have an opponent that has beaten them previously. So as it stands right now, Becker, they look like they've got the lead going into this, but Carroll definitely still do have the ability to try and run this one and pull a really, well, not necessarily surprising win out, but a necessary win and a big one that would help them throughout the postseason here, Volt.
Yeah, I'm just refreshing my memory through the past few games. Carroll's lineup recently has been going up against Montana, which they got swept in, unfortunately, but then they go back and swept Hood College. So it's gonna be a hopefully an even match, but I'm looking through and Becker's got some close ones, but Carroll's either swept or been swept.
Yeah, it's been a very back and forth season for both of these guys. But before we get into this game and find out the results of what we've got, we want to give a quick shout out to all of our partners here at the NECC. We want to start off with Helix Esports. Thank you guys for everything that you do behind the scenes here. We greatly appreciate all of your help here at the NECC. Additionally, we want to also thank ESTV, our linear TV provider, streaming through the Roku channel and Samsung TV and a whole bunch more. Please go check them out for nonstop 24/7 esports action, including all of the NECC playoffs. And in addition to that, we also want to thank HyperX for all of the gear that they have brought here to the NECC. And now some gear can go back to you guys. Please go check out our Twitter. We're doing a giveaway with HyperX, so please go check out our socials and keep up to date with that. But without further ado, we've got just a couple of moments. We're just about ready to head into this one. So Voltage, I think going into this, you and I have got what we believe to be our predictions here. I'm probably going to lean a little bit more towards Becker. If you had to make a choice here, what would you say?
At this point, just because it's so close, I want to be on the other side of you. I'll go Carroll with this one. I genuinely think that they've got the stuff to pull it out. Like I said, they've either 3-0'd or been 3-0'd. Becker has had some close games against several different teams, so I'm gonna go with Carroll winning the first game and then taking the second two, kind of commanding. Just an underdog moment here.
Yeah, similarly, I think if this does go one way or the other, like you said, it's going to be a commanding victory. So I see it for Becker. If they're able to do it, it's going to be a reverse. It's going to be a similar scenario to what we saw last time, where they're going to sweep through. But really, the question becomes whether or not they have that first game, because we've mentioned it many times here in the series before. This is what matters. This is the biggest thing that matters here of these 5 games. It's games number 1 and it's game number 5. Those 2 games are the big ones because it's make or break for these teams. If you come out to an advantage, that determines how you play the whole rest of your series. So we're just going to have to wait and see.
Right. So, I mean, in that point, we're looking at if either team really just shuts down the other team in the first game, maybe because they were more warmed up or better prepared. Either way, it's going to be a mental battle to try to come back from that one. And that's why a game 1 victory is so important, as the teams are joining the lobby here.
Just about ready, waiting on a couple of them. But like you said, yeah, it's so important to the entirety of the game, or to the entirety of the series, I should say, whether or not these teams come out here with a whole lot of firepower. And we're going to have to hope so. Looks like we've got a little bit of a pause on the kickoff. So we might have to take just a second. Sorry, you guys. But we're going to get this match restarted up real quickly. Make sure to recreate the lobby, and we should be able to go back into this one. But again, like we were saying, these games have been really close thus far. The big thing about them has been the separation when it comes to momentum, and when it comes to just really who comes out with the bigger showing to start off with. If you're Carroll here, who knows that you have to get this first game if you want to have a shot at taking the entirety of the series, what do you think is the key to breaking down this Becker defense and getting a good start offensively?
Numbers. I've been saying it all season. You can have the craziest shot, but it's generally easier to save a shot when it's the first shot of a a series or just a one and done shot. If
Hmm.
you can keep going after one after another, whittle their boost down, really just put them out of position, it makes shooting on net a whole lot easier.
Hmm. Rotations, rotations, rotations. We talk about it all the time. I mean, it really is one of these things that it's so simple to say. It's such a basic idea, but the craziest thing about it is that for as simple as it is, even teams at the highest level, pros are making mistakes in rotations. They're all making these minor mistakes because it's a simple thing that can get messed up in just a half a second. So, like you said, if everyone off of Carroll can immediately jump on this one and make sure to keep themselves within the keep themselves like within the I guess what we'll call it the final third. If they can keep themselves within the offensive third, they should have a shot. So we'll have to find out. We're just about ready, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for the little bit of technical difficulties that led up to here, but we have got game 2 of the day, round 1, NECC Rocket League Playoffs underway here. Let's see what happens.
Absolutely. UCall's trying to move it over into the Carroll side of the field, not able to do so, and a counterattack does come out. But a big clear there from Mountain Drew. At this point, they're just kind of chipping it back and forth, and there was an attempt, and what a save.
So far, I was about to say the exact same thing, where basically both of these teams, oh my word, I was going to say, you're just kind of popping it back and forth. But if you miss doing that, the ping pong ends for just a second. Lord needed to pop out here, or at least some sort of touch, and without it coming, Yokel's going to immediately clean that one up. And we're only 30 seconds in, and already Becker off to a strong start.
Yeah, Becker is off to a very strong start, and how could I forget about Yokels? He is the, I'm going to say the dominant force on this team. Perf Taco and Mountain Drew both support each other and support Yokels, but he is the one that finishes the play 9 times out of 10 from what I've seen. Perf Taco puts one mid, Dad backflips. Drew is not able to get there in time, but just such a misplay there on Dad in the net. Duffer Real's able to clear, but pinching it back in is Perf Taco, and he's up to follow the shot, putting it down over Lord. And that's going to be a quick 2-0 lead here in game number 1. Just over a minute of play, and I don't think that we've really seen the ball on the Carroll side of the field.
No, unfortunately not. I mean, right now, really, Becker is just dominating right now. They are the only ones with shots on the board right now. 3 total shots already within the first minute. Meanwhile, not a single shot for everyone off of Carroll. So, as it stands right now, this is definitely not the position you wanted to be in. And it's starting to look like a little bit of a repeat of history. Last time these two teams faced off, we mentioned Becker absolutely dominated them in a 3-0 sweep. So, if that happens again here today, I'm not necessarily going to be surprised, but I'd love to avoid it, and I think so would Carroll.
Yeah, you were speaking about positioning for just a moment there, and Perf Taco set himself up so perfectly for 2 50-50s to bring it to their net. It was a wonderful play, and I just wanted to be able to highlight that there as Yokels is right in front of their net, trying to go up, unable to hit it there, but a good center and a tic-tac-toe. Yokels being the one to put it away from a great team play on the Carroll side of the field.
You mentioned it earlier, and it rings true right now. If there's anyone that's just going to stay in that final third and sweep it up, it's going to be Yokels every time. In high school, we had a friend who used to do this on the soccer team. We like to call him the trash man. Always sweeping up the goals, always taking those trash can goals, because here's the thing. It doesn't matter how not so pretty that goal is. If it's going in, it's going in. And Yokels, he's going to make sure every opportunity goes through here right now. So we're not the best start out of Becker here. They've got a 3-0 deficit they've now got to overcome. And if momentum's anything in this game, which we know it is, this is not a series that they're going to stay comfortable in as a 1-0 deficit to start off.
Yeah, and right now a key to success for Carroll is to settle down, talk about your rotations. Don't let them score, if they're going to score another one, that's fine. But at the same time, make some plays where your chemistry is building up. And like Dad puts it out there, he needs to have Duffer Reels needs to be there quicker. It could have been cleared back into their side of the net so quickly. Just faster rotations and just really working on the mechanics here.
Right now, the mechanics are going to be a big part about this. So far, we're seeing a lot of weird and awkward touches from both of these teams. If they can start to try and possess the ball and really build plays into something greater, they'll be able to do that, as Yokels is denied that exact opportunity in the corner. But somehow Perf comes away with a 50 at midfield. Right now, it really does seem like Perf Taco has got the ability to just break down the team, although really, in general, everyone off of Becker, we've seen multiple solo plays that have just completely driven through the defense. And now with an open net, Yokels just needs to... No, he did not put that one on target. Dad going to get a little bit in the way of him, and that's going to be a little bit of relief for Carroll, but I think a bit too late. A minute 30 left here now, and a 3-0 deficit isn't, you know, it isn't the end of the world, but with how solid the defense has been right now for Becker, I don't think this one's going to go to overtime voltage.
I don't know. I definitely see some flaws. The closest chance for Carroll to score was a triple commit. You get somebody there a little bit quicker, you've got nobody in net. So at that point, there are some holes and it can be broken down. But Dad gets demoed. Sorry, Dad and Dub for Reals both get demoed from Perf Taco and Yokels. And Mountain Drew, last one back to try to bring it forward. Unable to do so. Lord pushing to the corner, trying to find Boost, able to bump one out, but it doesn't work in his favor. And what we are seeing is a genius technical play there from Perf Taco, turning his car perfectly on the wall to bring it forward. Unable to do that for the goal there. But Yokels, last one back. Good center from Dad. Lord or Duff for Reals need to be there quicker with someone staying back. And the mechanics on Perf Taco have gone unnoticed for too long here in the NECC.
Oh my gosh. If he had been able to get the turtle flick there, I think that might have just been it. At that point, I think we all just say, we're going home, good night. That's the best we're going to see. Pretty close, at least gets the assist off of it. But my word, this is a Becker team that... I mean, this is just astonishing. We knew that they were going to have the slight advantage here. If you told me they were going to win 4-0 in their first game, I'd call you insane, though. We thought this one was going to be extremely close, but as it stands right now, Becker just rolling over Carroll here. 12 seconds left, and I don't think this is going to change anyway.
I mean, the only thing that might change is a 5-0. It's on the side of Carroll right now as Perf takes it off the wall. Tries to dunk it just too far away for the almost doomsday. I wouldn't really call it a doomsday, but it was that angle. And Becker takes away win number 1 in a best-of-5 series.
And a dominant win at that. This is a crazy stat to see. I didn't realize this until the end of the game. I wasn't, fully aware of this quite yet, but I'm starting to take it in now. Not a single shot for Carroll the whole game. Meanwhile, in the other half, Becker takes 9 shots. They don't have to make a single save the whole game. They force 2 saves out of Carroll. When we say that that was a dominant performance, I mean, that might be the most dominant and one-sided performance we've seen so far this season. Just ridiculous.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of times when it was this one-sided, but it's in the playoffs, you don't expect it. This is the top 6 teams in that league. And at this point, it's just unfortunate Carroll got that miscommunication, miscues in their first game, and hopefully in their second game they can bring it back here and start working together as a team.
A big part about that, like you said, is the team play. Thing to note for Becker, really part of what was so successful for them in that game was the fact that they played really well as a team cohesively. They did a great job making sure that everyone stayed involved in the play. I mean, we came into this one mentioning how Yokels was the man to watch. He was a guy who continually was taking shots at net or being able to, just kind of dish it up. But the crazy thing is that despite that, now it doesn't really matter. The rest of his team is backing him up as well. We saw a ridiculous attempt at a flip out of, I believe it was either Mountain Brews or I believe actually it was the sub on the last game, as we do have a sub here. Ramil going to pop his head on in and going to try to see what he can do for the Becker College. And I don't actually know if that's necessarily the best move as we get underway here to game 2. With such a solid strategy the first game, what need is there to bring in a substitute?
Well, I mean, at the same time, Carroll showed no threats. As we mentioned, no goals. Why not get your sub some playoff experience in case, he needs it? Somebody, isn't feeling well or isn't playing to their best ability. Why not bring him in, get some playoff experience, and make him a better player for the betterment of the team?
Absolutely, and as it stands right now, I mean, it doesn't look like Becker is any different right now. They're just kind of playing on their opponent's half as per usual. It almost seems as if they have more time. Yokel is taking this all the way across the field and giving it out as a pass to Mountain Drew. You definitely should not have the time to carry the ball across the field like that. Right now, it just seems like Carroll, they don't know when to attack and when to hold back. You see both of their players just waiting on this one in net, and Yokel is going to take full advantage of that.
Yeah, I'm kind of sitting here stunned. Dad, the only one to challenge that until way late when I believe that was Duff for Reals who came out of net right before the softest flick I think I've ever been able to call a flick. But anyways, first goal goes to Becker, and just after a first minute, make that 2 goals just after a first minute of play in the second game.
And again, this is another one of those awkward goals that makes it through. Of course, it's Yokel's the one to make it through. He's got so many of these. The own goal coming out, I'm not sure who that bounced off of, but as it stands right now, Carroll, they've got to go back to the drawing board for their defense. It does not look like it's rotating properly at all. Like you mentioned, when someone challenges initially like Dad did on the first goal, you need someone afterwards to back him up. Obviously, the first challenge is not to repossess the ball from the opponent. It's to get him scared. It's to get whoever has the ball jumping, just like you saw there. That's a much better way to do it. Lord and then Dad doing a two-piece combo there, and that's what Carroll need to start doing. See how it got them out of their own half. See how it got them a little bit of relief of pressure here. This is what they have to do if they want to win this series, because right now, these minor mistakes like we just saw there are absolutely killing them.
Yeah, and I'm such a rotation-minded player. I've gotten to Diamond 2 without knowing how to Diamond 3 without knowing how to half flip. So rotations are what I work on. So at this point, seeing the last player from Carroll, instead of going back to far post, letting his team kind of regroup and challenging midfield, being last back, that was definitely something else that they could work on. But it's at this point, it's we're hammering a nail that's already in.
Yeah, unfortunately so. The big thing is at this point, really all we can mention is what the improvements need to happen for Carroll, because Becker, despite making a sub that I was a little bit shaky upon, they've looked just as dominant as the last game. A little bit of a miscommunication on both of those plays on defense here, but regardless of that, Becker still don't look like they're at all frazzled by what's happening on the other half of the field. They're staying just as calm and collected, and these opportunities are rising just as much as before. Ooh, and especially when they finish him off like that. Ramil, we mentioned that we wanted to see him and see if he could, prove that the substitution was a worthwhile venture. And boy, howdy was it. What a great block on the line. And 3-0 it becomes for Becker.
Yeah, and I do like how Dad was up there challenging with it. It didn't work out in his favor, and that's going to hurt. But if he wasn't up there for a challenge, it was going in regardless. So I do like that play from him. Last back, Lord staying back well. Just misses the challenge as Mountain Drew pushes to the side. And like we said, it's a little bit of an awkward play here. Good demo there from Yokels.
Ooh, that shot not quite on from Mountain Drew, but I mean, this is back to the usual now. Becker, they got 1 goal, and now it looks like they're already back to their usual pressuring. Lord a little bit too far out there. Mountain Drew can't quite get to the touch, but notice how he retreats immediately and then has Ramil right behind him to back him up. As it stands right now, both of these teams, I mean, it just kind of comes down to which one of these teams is going to start making mistakes, and as it looks right now, Becker is not the one to do so. Becker has been playing pretty much picture perfect, and the only way through, really, I see for Carroll is if Becker starts playing to a lesser degree, because Carroll right now, they just don't look like they've got the confidence to try and break through this defense.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And at this point, it's looking to be very one-sided. And I'm hoping something changes. Maybe team captains, coaches, whoever's leading the conversation with them is really trying to pump them up, get them excited, really play loose and fast at this point. You got 50 seconds left. You're down by 3. You have 0 shots on goal for 2 games straight. Losing 4. Oh, I almost spoke too soon. 3-0. And at this point, play loose and fast. You can get a goal in. Have some fun with it. You're in the playoffs, boys.
I mean, at this point, it's all about like just letting go of what you thought. I mean, a lot of teams, we've mentioned this many a times. I got a great comment on another league that I was casting earlier this week where someone came into the chat and goes, oh, what level is this? It looks like I could compete here. I'm a pretty good C1. And I meanwhile respond, oh, this is 1800. This is Supersonic Legend level. This just, it doesn't equate. When you get on stream, when you get into those high pressure situations, all of a sudden everything changes. And right now for Carroll, it's unfortunately everything has changed in just the worst ways. They have not been able to keep up with the pressure here, and 2-0 becomes without a single shot on net.
Yeah. I mean, it's really the Becker show at this point. Like I said, if Carroll was to do anything at all, I think it would be play loose and fast. Get some shots on goals. It's a do or die situation here. Have fun with it, but just focus on getting shots on goals.
Absolutely. I mean, the big thing, it's literally just creating those opportunities because it stands right now. Becker has pretty much been able to do whatever they want with you as it stands. Ramil coming through with a goal there, going 1 for 2. Yokel is doing the same thing, 2 for 6, 2 goals on his side. And then Mountain Drew getting an assist on 2 of those plays. So again, Becker is just doing a good job of creating an offense that's very hard to stop. And in addition to having an offense that's very hard to stop, they haven't even had to play defense. They've not had a single save this entire series. There's no reason for them to stop playing this aggressive on offense when the counterattacks just haven't quite been there yet.
Yeah, I agree with you, but at the same time, this game, Carroll was better about bringing the ball upfield. Yes, there wasn't a shot on net, but there were moments where they had to do some defensive rotations on the side of Becker, and I like what I've seen so far.
We're going to have to see what happens here as we get underway into this third game. In my opinion, personally, unfortunately, this could be the last game. I don't want to say it's definitely the last game as we could see something out of Carroll here, but as it stands right now, as we get in underway to kickoff, Carroll just hasn't had the offensive opportunities, physically have not had them to be able to put this game into a close position. So they've got to come out here firing. If they start to give any momentum to their opponents here, it's going to be a mistake. Speaking of which,
goal for Carroll is going to be in the third game. Is this the reverse sweep starting? Is this what happens?
Listen, I'll say this much. If they just end right there and right now, they have the greatest shooting percentage of any team in the NECC right now. They are 1 for 1, 100% shooting as it stands right now. Maybe coming a little bit late into the series, but like you said, this is where momentum builds. Maybe not if no one goes for the ball in the middle. A little bit of a hesitation out of Carroll, and that's not what we're looking for out of them.
Yeah, hesitation from 2 players and then a double commit after nobody deciding when they were going to go. Good challenge by Dad and a definitely offensive opportunity there, but he has to get back to support Dub for reals. Yokels bringing the ball across the net here, and just really, this in my mind, from what I'm seeing here, I don't know the skill levels of these teams or the rank levels. It's different, very different.
Yeah, it just looks like 2 different teams playing against each other as it stands right now, just completely opposite sides of the spectrum when it comes to, how they want to play. It's a very aggressive team that's trying to take every opportunity on one side from Becker. And meanwhile, Carroll, it's very clear they would much rather play with some reservation. They'd much rather play with a little bit of hesitation and slower pace. And unfortunately, these 2 styles don't match up all that well together. And right now, one of the 2 of them, Becker's, is definitely the one to shine.
Yeah, it's definitely one-sided in the series, but currently with 1.5 minutes gone on the clock in game number 3, it is Carroll's game to lose.
Oh, that's almost an understatement to say the least. It's 1-0 as it stands right now. Carroll have somehow managed to start an offense here and then also suppress the offense out of Becker. Despite Becker having a couple of opportunities so far, they still haven't capitalized on any of them. And it's 2 minutes gone now at this point. This could be a second goal. Not quite out of Carroll. We're going to put this one back into the middle, but I think that's going to be it. And an overcommitment on the defense is going to even this one up. Yokel is going cross court. And there goes all that pressure Carroll was building.
Yeah, I do like the thought to go just not as soon. If Yokels stayed back as much as he did after the defender missed, then yeah, go challenge that. Just wait and see what he's gonna do. He can mess up at any.
stands right now, this is not, oh my word, I was going to say the game for Carol. However, a shot like that could change the momentum. Unfortunately, out and in off the post. And it looks like we're having a little bit of difficulty with one of the players. I believe that one of them has accidentally activated a second controller while still trying to use the first one. I've been there before, so as it stands right now, Ramil trying to get himself back into this game so that he can play. But it's a 2v3 Becker. Just need to hold on for now.
This is the opportunity. I've been calling the reverse sweep since they scored that goal. This is the opportunity. 2v3, and I believe, boys, just remember, I believe from the beginning.
This could be the shot. I mean, if they're able to do it, listen, this is how it works. If you leave a match that is not up to the other college to give you a break, you have to get back as quick as possible. But if you can make saves like that, you don't need a third player. What's the use? Ramil finally back in, but Mountain Drew with the save of his career to keep his team in this.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough from that save. Coming across from the back wall to line that up, and that's not easy. If you haven't played Rocket League, it's not an easy thing to go off one post and then fly and save a ball almost at the other post.
Not only is that not an easy thing to do, it's an even harder thing to do when it's a 2v3 and you know the pressure is on. Mountain Drew trying to finish this off for his team. As this one net, there's no finish for Becker at all. This is going to be a finish for Carol. 2-1 with 1:20 left. This is a different team than we saw the first two games. Where was this the first two games?
I'm sorry, I didn't believe hard enough the first two games, but here we are in game number 3, 2-1. Carol takes the lead once again.
Oh my word, this is just, my heart is pounding at this point. The truth of the matter is that this game has been about, it's made no sense to me about as much as it can. 2v3, they can't get the job done, but the minute that the third man comes back in, all of a sudden Carol sees the gap in the defense here, and maybe gonna see another one! Another save coming out, Ramil this time! What is happening on the line for Becker?
I'm glad you could talk in these like high intensity situations, because I'm over here just reacting and have no time to talk.
I can see your camera and it's just your hands on your head the whole time, both you and I with our mouths wide open trying to figure out what on earth is happening. 30 seconds left here. Becker, you gotta try and score this year. You've had so many opportunities to walk away with a 2-1 defeat. Would be absolutely heartbreaking for how hard you fought here in this third game. But in the same light, Carol, they're looking like they could score a third one here.
And possibly, and yes, they do. Here it is. Carol bamboozled us all. They said, you know what, boys, we're going to act like we don't know what we're doing for the first two games and make it exciting. In game number 3, 3-1 with 16 seconds left on the clock. And it's a different game.
My mind is blown right now. I don't even know if I can respond. This is, even at the very beginning of this game, Carol did not seem like they had the offense to fire through on this one. They obviously got the go-ahead goal immediately from a weird rotation error on defense for Becker, but Carol walking away with a 3-1 victory now here. What on earth just happened?
They just went for it. They sent it. They listened. Dufferreal is the only goal scorer on the side of Carol with no assists. He showed up in a big way, and when I mean a big way, I'm going to mean 9 shots on net, the same amount as Becker did in game number 1.
I am speechless at this point for a number of different reasons. First off, like you said, Dufferreal is coming in here going absolutely insane on offense, but on the other side, what happened to Mountain Drew? The guy came through and just became an absolute wall. If they have a full 5 minutes with 3 players next game, we're just going to, at least in my opinion, I'm going to expect Drew on the back half the whole time. 6 saves for him total. Just a ridiculous performance on the back half. So as much as Carol should be proud of the victory they just took, it was a very solid one. You got to be careful. Next game, they're going to be more than prepared, and they might be even a little angry that they just took that loss there.
Yeah, as we're heading into game number 4, it's really going to be a, does Becker's offense come alive again? Because at that point, Carroll wasn't, none of those shots were particularly fantastic. I mean, but at the same time, they got through. That's all you need.
That's what you need. We mentioned this previously. The biggest thing for how you're going to be able to get past teams like this is when they make the mistakes. For some reason, in game number 3 there, the mistakes just started flying. Becker not quite understanding how to stop that offense at a certain point. The rotations broke down, and so did all of the offense off of Becker there. They just didn't seem as deadly, and they still don't seem as deadly right now. Ramil missing that touch right there, and now they got to try and restart the offense again.
Yokels putting the ball in mid. Ramil following it up, dunking a Carroll player, but Dad there in the corner to shut down the offensive pressure and bring it back the other way. A slow roller goes to Yokels as Ramil finds it. Tries to center it just a little bit too much, but he's the one to follow it back up. And this is what we are used to seeing from game number 1 and 2. But then it goes back the other way with the For Reals trying insane aerials, trying it, and I'm liking both sides of the field how both teams are playing.
As it stands right now, this is a much more even match than what we had seen the first 2 games. But to be fair, this is what we expected going into this series. I think it was more surprising that we saw the first 2 games go like that. Oh my word! Rather than Carroll take a game 3 as they did after what happened. I mean, if this does go to a game 5, that's, oh my word, I was going to say what is expected. Mountain Drew can't finish that one off after what was really a gifted goal here, but Becker, they're back into their offensive half. This is much better than what we had seen from them last game. This could be scary for everyone off Carroll.
Dad bringing the ball up from Carroll with a great center and just misses left. I say just, it was pretty far left. Mountain Drew, the next player to touch the ball, puts it underneath the Carroll player. Ramil dashing across the field to try to get to it, just a light ball off the wall. Center coming out from Carroll, and Yokels. Yokels. Okay.
You gotta be kidding me. This guy is just the clean-up king. This is ridiculous. First shot on net immediately forces all of the players to get nervous. Then as he sees it popping back to his own half, it's a banger of the shot at 16-1 in the top left. I mean, honestly, as it stands right now, the real question becomes, if Yokels gets hot, is there a chance for Carroll to stop him?
I mean, For Reals needs to get even hotter at this point because it's a game of offense. And neither team, outside of Mountain Drew, nothing particularly amazing. And Mountain Drew has been very amazing, don't get me wrong. But outside of that, it's been an offensive show from both sides of the field.
As it stands right now, a 1-0 lead is all that separates the two of these teams as we get down to the halfway point. Mountain Drew and Ramil going up for that one, and this could be an issue. We don't have a lot of time left, and the big thing for Carroll here is that they've ridden off of momentum. They got the first goal of the last game and then just kind of ran with that. Here, they're starting to look like the similar team we saw to the first 2 games. They're panicking their touches. They're hesitant when they shouldn't be. If they can start trying to light up and just play a little more aggressively, that was a great idea out of Dad. That's the aggression we're looking for. The timing just not quite there. Oh my word, and with Yoko's flick to the other end, oh my gosh, you guys can't see this, but Voltage has his hands on his head, and for good reason. What on earth?
Huh? I mean, like, honestly, it's been both sides of the field, either so close, I mean, just so close, consistently, from a dunk from the Real's Dad up in the air, and just so close. But Lord's there to clean it up, and I'm just having a lot of fun here, watching some great Rocket League as game number 4 carries on. Under 2 minutes on the clock. Oh, I'm sorry. See, I can't talk in these high-pressure situations. Under 2 minutes on the clock here, but the lead is towards Becker, and oh, what a save. What a save. And he was trying to redirect it, and I didn't realize at first that he was on the same team, but Dad saying, I will not be silent, I want a goal, and here it is.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous when I saw Ramil starting that play. When I realized that he was completely throwing that one away, the biggest nerves became, what about the counterattack? And Carol, they're doing one thing correct. They're taking advantage of these mistakes when they come. The issue is that Becker has not allowed a whole lot of them. And as Ramil goes to the sky here and dishes it out to Yokels, another offense builds for Becker. And you still need another goal, Carol. You cannot allow them to score on you again, or this one is said and done.
How many times have I said it, and how many more times do I need to say it? It only takes 3 seconds to score a goal. You only need that little bit of time, especially say they tie it up with 3 seconds left. You've got to kick off with 3 seconds. That's more than enough time to score a goal. So here we are, 40 seconds on the clock, 2-1. Game number 4, make that 3-1. Game number 4 is currently Becker's game.
Yeah, unfortunately. That might be it.
What did I just had a whole conversation. 3 seconds. They could score 10 goals. You don't know.
Listen, I'll say this. The 3 seconds, as much as it could come through, Becker has played such a solid defense when they try. My biggest issue for why I think that the 3 seconds could be possible, the 3 seconds are only possible if the other team throws away defense. And with a double commit in the air like that, I mean, it could happen. Ramil's done a good job so far at the line, as well as Mountain Drew. So the question is, when Yokels does stuff like that to just waste time by taking it back and forth, do you really have the time to score? This was the play I was worried about for Becker, or at least worried for Carol from Becker, and this is exactly what we were hoping for if you're a Becker fan, though. They've wasted the amount of time that they needed to. They have just completely drained the clock here, and Becker gonna finish this one off in a 3-1 victory. Congratulations to Becker as they move on to the next round. And to Carol, you guys did do a great job in those final games, came through and started to play as a cohesive unit. I wish you guys luck in your future endeavors as a team. You are a solid squad. Please do take this loss with pride, as you guys definitely turned that around at the end there.
Yeah, absolutely. That was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very good series, both sides, really.
So player of the game. I'm gonna send it over to you because I just had a lot of fun watching.
Of the players that I would say that I would look out for here, the big one to look out for would be Yokels. If we can get him in the booth here to have a quick word with him, I would love it. But I mean, he has absolutely played out of his mind throughout this entire series, and I mean, there's a lot of things that happened in this game that I'm curious to know whether or not he was paying attention to, specifically when they had when they were keeping their opponents shotless, when they saw that Drew just absolutely dominated on saves. I mean, really, it was a cohesive unit for sure, but it just depended on the match who was standing out. So like you said, if I'm going to give it to someone, I'd probably give player of the series to Yokels, but close behind that, Drew, my word, were you a defensive monster.
Oh, that's an understatement, sir. The man came flying like Superman across the net and perfectly times it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So looks like we should have Yokels on in here in the booth real quick. Welcome, my guy. How excited are you guys to be moving on to the next round?
Pretty excited.
You sound ecstatic. I gotta imagine that this is maybe just another game for you guys. Did you guys realize how not to say how close that got there at the end, but did you start to see the heat when Carol started turning the momentum on you guys there at the end?
Well, I mean, at the end there, they were not a bad team. They were a pretty good team from when we played them in the regular season. But with experiencing issues there with having to play 2 and 3, they started to pressure a little bit more in Game 3 and Game 4.
right. So game 1 and game 2, you kept them shotless. What was the change for you guys, if there was any, from the first 2 games to the second 2 games?
Well, for the second 2 games, we just pretty much played as we normally play without changing anything in particular. And Game 3 and 4 just pretty much stayed the same thing, just playing one goal at a time and taking it as little bit as possible. One series, one game within the series, nothing major.
And then I have another one I'm going to slip in here. Does Mountain Drew play defense like that all the time, or was this just a miracle on ice here?
It was pretty much as explanatory as what you summed it up as, because he had to step up like this series because one of our players had to go earlier,
Mhm.
so he had to step in.
Were you guys freaking out when he made that save in the 2v3 that like kept you guys within that
Yeah, the
game
2v3, yeah.
were you guys just freaking out in columns? Was that just ridiculous like explosion of just people freaking out at that point?
Well, I mean, nobody was like freaking out or anything. It's pretty much just keeping calm.
Yeah, we were pretty calm over here as well.
That is about as far from the truth as we can state it. We were pretty much going insane in the booth here when we saw that one come through. Sounds like you guys have got some confidence on your squad. You know how to keep a level head and keep yourselves into this. Do you think that you guys are going to need to keep just as calm for Montana? I mean, you got a big opponent coming up against you guys. Are you at all nervous, or are you just about as level headed and as dead set on beating them as you are Carroll here today?
Well, pretty much like when that comes up, we're pretty much just keeping motivated and not like thinking that we're gonna outright beat them. It's gonna be like a tough competition.
Yes, it will, and it's going to be very exciting to watch that tough competition. Make sure you guys catch us Monday, November 16th. That's when those games are going to be played, and it's going to be a hot one if this is any indication.
Absolutely. So, Yokel, thank you very much for coming through here today. Congratulations on the win, my guy. We wish you luck against Montana next week.
Thank you guys. See you next week.
We'll see you next week. Thank you very much, my man. So, with that is a wrap for NECC RL Game 2 of the day, but that is not a wrap on the day in total. We have got 2 more games coming for you guys after this, but that will be the end of that division. After this, we are going to move over to the Champions Division. That is the end of the Challengers. So please don't go anywhere. It's going to be me and Voltage yet again. We will be back in just a little while. So please stick around for the NECC Rocket League Playoffs. Thank you guys for joining us here today.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NECC. I am your host this evening, Jaron Bell, and I am joined by two unbelievable casters in their own right. Well, actually, you can see that that's Oliver Bass with my name under it, but he's going to get that switched around. Say what's up to Oliver Bass, Voltage Plays, AJ in the building. Casters, what is up, my guys?
We're just speechless.
Speechless. I mean, listen, I came in and I see a unbelievable ending to a match and probably one of the highest energetic interviews I've ever seen. I've listened. Oliver, what a match. Can you break down for people that didn't see what you just saw in the previous match?
So we saw what was probably one of, in my opinion, the most chaotic series we've seen pretty much this entire NECC season. It was just all over the place. Carroll came into that game obviously as a little bit of an underdog, but we did not expect them to go down without a single shot on the first two games versus Becker, take the third game after not having a single shot the first two games, and then lose in the fourth. Becker Community College, I mean, they came out like ridiculously well played through the first two matches. The third match, they had a little bit of difficulty trying to keep a player within the game, but by the fourth one, they got all of those technical issues ironed out and were able to close out the series. Becker really showing a very impressive side of themselves there.
And I Voltage Plays, listen, you guys both saw that game going different ways in the pregame. Now that you look back on it, what do you think led to the game turning out the way it did?
That the Carroll guy, they were just messing around the first two games and really just wanted to make it exciting, and they just weren't able to hold on.
Hey, a little bit. Go ahead.
In all honesty, it looked like they were nervous the first two games and really didn't find the feel for it until game number 3, and it just wasn't enough. It was a little too late for that one.
Absolutely. And now, ladies and gentlemen, everyone watching at home, we are going to shift focus and look at the Champions Division here in the NECC. But before we do that, we want to remind you that all of this esports action is brought to you by our proud partners. I want to say thank you to our friends at Helix Esports for all they do for us behind the scenes to allow us to bring you esports. We do have a fantastic announcement coming with Helix very soon. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. Obviously, big shout out to our friends that we are live with, our friends at ESTV, our linear TV partner. If you have not downloaded ESTV yet, you can download it. Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Vizio, plenty of options where you can download ESTV and get esports action from around the globe on their platform. And as you can see, all these, I know you're looking at these casters and you're thinking, my goodness, those are some handsome looking men. But one thing you do have to notice, they all have on those HyperX headphones. HyperX, proud partner of the NECC and the NECC playoffs, the best gear in gaming now comes to the NECC. We also want to give a huge thank you to our friends at MetaPro Gaming and Really for all that they do for the NECC behind the scenes. And boys, listen, as we focus on the Champions Division, I know that we're all excited about these two matchups, but we are about to see the number 3 seed in Kansas Wesleyan University face off against the number 6 seed St. Ambrose University. Oliver, I'm going to start with you. What are you looking for as we're getting ready to see this huge matchup?
Well, we're looking for, at least me personally, I'm looking for a strong start at St. Ambrose if they want to take this series. Obviously, they come into this one as the underdogs, and they come into this one against the underdogs against a team who has played very well up into this point. Kansas Wesleyan, I know during the season, all of us were wondering whether or not they were going to take the 1 spot for a little while. So, I mean, the truth is, really, this is Kansas Wesleyan's game to lose. It's their series to lose. So if St. Ambrose want to make this upset, they got to come out here firing.
And so to you, Voltage Plays, what can St. Ambrose do to maybe bounce back against the higher seeded Kansas Wesleyan to maybe have an upset here in the first round?
I think that they need to have confidence in themselves because in the end, they're a solid team. They are, they're number 6 in the championship division. They're a solid team. They need to have confidence in themselves, go out there, play their game, and really just take it to KWU.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we do want to remind you that you can follow us on social media at NECC Games. Again, that's NECC Games for live updates, giveaways, all kinds of stuff. We actually have a HyperX headphone giveaway on our Twitter page right now. Follow us on at NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram. We will let you guys know, for those that are watching now, Kansas Wesleyan University will be in the blue, and you will see St. Ambrose in the orange. I know we are getting close. We are trying to get some players into the lobby. Guys, first of all, let's start with Volt. I'm going to come back to you. How about the action that you've seen so far to kick off the Rocket League playoffs here in round one?
Nonstop would be a fantastic description. After, like, I time zones are weird, and I missed the first game. I was opening up stream to watch that, what is the 5 p.m. game, and then it turns out everything's scheduled in Eastern time, so that really threw me off there, and it was my turn to go. So I didn't catch much of that first game, but then what I have seen in the second game, once both teams came alive, it was exciting.
Absolutely. And Oliver, obviously, listen, we've seen Kansas Wesleyan a couple times this year. We know how they come to play. We know what they're going to do. It is going to be a lot of Golden, that star that they have. It is going to be based around him. And I mean, it is going to be an impressive matchup. What do you think? I've already asked Voltage this, but what do you think that St. Ambrose can do to knock off this higher seed, excuse me?
Like I said, I mean, they got to come in here aggressive. Specifically, what I think they need to do, which is something that a lot of teams have not done today, is stick to their rotations in the best way possible. A lot of these teams get into this. They start to get a little bit too much into their head. They go, okay, it's playoff time. I can't hesitate. Or they have the reverse. It's playoff time. I can't make a mistake. And that little bit of in between, that decisiveness, just throws them into this weird little loop where they get stuck in dead man's land a ton of the time. They either they decide they can't go up, or they decide that they can't wait. So it becomes this little weird awkwardness. And really, you have to avoid that in high pressure situations like right now. As much as it's great to have a best of 5 series in the first game where, oh, it's just about practice. It's just about, getting warmed up. That we don't have that anymore. That luxury is gone. That's a normal season thing. This is playoffs. You cannot afford to lose the first game. You cannot afford to lose the second game. Every game counts right now. So St. Ambrose, you got to come out here and be ready to win. Not just want it, ready.
Absolutely. And listen, Voltage, one of the things that I want to ask you, I mean, look, it is going to be a non-stop action. And how important is it to start fast? Like he said, here in the playoffs, there is no room whatsoever to be lackluster, as it's go time.
Yeah, I think fast is the wrong word for it. You need to control the pace of play. Control the pace of play of what you want to do. If you're letting the other team control how fast everything is happening, then you are playing off tempo. You need to play your own tempo, work together as a team and move the ball consistently. And that's what I'll be looking for from St. Ambrose. On top of what Oliver said just a moment ago, is the hesitation versus don't want to stay back. If that happens, you're going to have a player that is either sitting back in net, not part of the play, or flying past the ball because they committed too early because they were afraid the ball going behind them. You want to be able to stay in the play there. So that's something that I'm looking at individually as well.
Absolutely. And our producer will let me know right before kickoff so I can get you guys into this game. But right now, an unbelievable matchup, a turn of events. We have had some amazing matchups. And the best part is there will be another match. We will see the number 4 seeded Central Methodist University facing off against NTC. We will see the number 4 seed and the number 5 seed in the Champions Division. Voltage Plays will be there with me on that call as well. Guys, a full slate of Rocket League action tonight, and by far, I think both of you guys would agree that it has been a non-stop and fast-paced action, and it's only going to get better as this tournament comes to an end.
Absolutely,
and it's only just beginning.
Yeah, that's the best part. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I believe we are very close to kickoff. I cannot see the game, so someone has to give me a little bit of a heads up on when the game will start. Absolutely,
All right,
yes.
we are asking if the players, if they're ready to join the teams here as we get started. Jaron said it's going to be KW against St. Ambrose, and the teams are joining up.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NECC. Welcome to the first round of the NECC playoffs. Thank you so much for being here for the pregame show. I am your host, Jaron Bell, and now on the call live, welcome Voltage Plays and Bass from the Past. Guys, have a great call, and we'll see you after the game.
Thank you very much, Jaron.
See you, man.
All right, and looks like this one is underway. About 15 seconds gone in this one, and so far it's a high-flying action indeed. Both of these teams trying to build something here. This is looking a little bit, I know it's only 30 seconds into the game. This is looking a little bit more even than the last one we saw.
Oh, this has been the exciting 30 seconds. We're expecting the number 3 seed KW to really just handle this game and, control the pace of play, as I said. But St. Ambrose is out here trying to redirect. They're being confident.
Oh, and speaking of confidence, that shot from Golden rings confidence the same way that it's definitely making a ringing sound as it pops off the bar there. Not quite in, but already we're seeing what could be the Golden God here. Golden's been a great striker all season for KWU. Let's see if he can make it count in the playoffs.
Oh, little hesitation from Sap, puts him in an awkward situation, but he goes and decides to be the first one while his teammate in the back also pushes out. A rotation to the far post was nice as Nico tries to go defend all 3 players from St. Ambrose University there, and Golden works it around him.
It looked like, I believe, one of the players off of St. Ambrose had just spawned in. I'm not exactly sure who it was, but definitely threw everyone for a loop there. That's one of the only things in Rocket League that remains, well, not entirely random, but mostly random. When you spawn off of a demo, you have no idea where it's going to be, and right now that went to Kansas Wesleyan's advantage, and it may be another one as Golden tries to carry this across court. Not quite. University's got an opportunity to pump this one to the middle. Sap's going to try and clear it, but now we're starting to see the KWU that you and I were expecting. They're just completely suppressing the defense of the other team, and now they're starting to put that pressure on.
Yeah, and it definitely looks like St. Ambrose has done a little bit of homework and trying to play cautiously around Golden and focus a little bit more on him, in my opinion, so far. Like that, the challenge from Nigo, I don't think they would have done if Diversity or Brodell had the ball.
Absolutely not. And right now, it's really going to come down to whether or not these teams treat everybody with equal respect. Because like you said, I mean, Golden is definitely the striker here that they're all going to be afraid of. But don't count out Brodell, and definitely do not count out Diversity. Both of these players have been deadly this season. Speaking of which, Golden, though, going to take what is a ridiculous shot. The follow-up from Diversity is not there. But again, this KWU offense is just starting to cook now.
It's getting going as Golden finds an, just misses an open net. I'm speaking too soon once again, as I always do. Ollie tries to control it up the left wall, gets around Golden. Diversity there to push it back out. And a good rotation from Golden going back, letting his teammates move forward. Sap trying to clear it. Up to Ollie, just missing. I'm liking the plays that they're trying.
Yeah, not only am I liking the plays that they're trying, I'm liking how it's working out for them. Similar, oh my word, to what we saw last game. It's just a dominant offense, and it's, oh my word, this domination just continues. Great pass from Golden, but the speed from Diversity to bang that one through. Great job getting it around the 2 defenders there, and now a 2-0 lead it becomes for KWU, and it's a 2-0 lead with 0 shots for the other team. So similar to what we saw last time, this is an offense which has literally suppressed the opponents entirely.
Yeah, spoke too soon. You pulled the voltage. There is the first shot for St. Ambrose on net, and they're clearing it out of their own side shortly after the first shot from them.
unfortunately, I don't know if that shot's really going to translate into much. They can get one on the board. That's great for the stats, but for nothing else. They remain without a goal here, and as this one drops down, Sap's got to make a save to hold it off for his team. But if Golden can get there, no, he will not. The bump's going to delay him. So right now, again, KWU, despite the fact that we've seen a little bit of offensive prowess at everyone off of St. Ambrose, they still look like they're sticking to the plan. A suppressive offense that just completely puts pressure at all moments of the day here. They are playing confidently and they're playing with possession. So the question now becomes, can St. Ambrose figure out a way to break this down with the time left, a minute left here? They've got to start moving or else they're going to go down 1-0 in this series.
Ollie did such a good job showing his patience and waiting for the ball to move out of the corner there. It was just a fantastic save from Golden.
Speaking of which, this fantastic save needs to come. Brodell, the last one back, a little bit awkward on this play, and Ollie's going to try and put the pressure now. Sap in the middle has got a shot, and it's off target. Not quite there. St. Ambrose, that's their best opportunity all game. They'll at least be able to finish it off on the rebound there. And St. Ambrose has put themselves back in this game with just about 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic opportunities there, one after another, keeping possession of the ball on the side of KWU. I really like what I'm seeing here as they are down by 1 with less than 30 seconds on the clock. It's really just got a big pressure here and kind of not put deep, never mind.
Listen, you can tell St. Ambrose what to do as much as you want. Yeah, I mean, really, they did whatever they could to stop that one there. The unfortunate truth is that as well as their defense has performed, the absolute swarm of pressure that KWU has put out against them and made it extremely difficult to get out of their own half. So really, St. Ambrose at this point, just hold on. You played a much better second half than you did the first half of this game. So as it stands right now, you got to just take this loss with pride, figure out what did work here, and just run with it the next game, because right now this is not the performance you want throughout the series. If you continue to give this much time and momentum in the first half of the game to everyone off KWU, they're just going to win these over and over. And speaking of which, KW walking away with the win here in the first game.
Yeah, well played by both teams, and like Oliver was saying, excuse me, it was a much better played second half than first on the side of St. Ambrose.
100%. They didn't play, again, to St. Ambrose's credit, the first half of this game was extremely rough in terms of how well KWU was playing their offense. They just suppressed them as much as they could. The rotations were perfect. The passes were perfect. They did a great job all around as a unit. But the real big question now becomes whether or not they go back to that for the next game. It looks like there might be a little bit of a change out here as we do have a substitution for St. Ambrose. So maybe that could be the key. A little bit of a change up here could throw off the rotations for KWU and put enough of a mix up that it can make them the I guess we'll call it the advantageous team here.
Yeah, and it's very interesting to me who they decided to switch out, because I haven't seen much of St. Ambrose outside of early in the season. And they're switching out Ollie for Faceless. So at this point, it's interesting because Ollie was creating pressure and a couple saves, if I remember correctly. But Nico did not have anything outside of a few centers. So it's very interesting, and see how the dynamic changes on the St. Ambrose team as game number 2 here is about to get going. Anything different than what we've said here that you're thinking of?
I mean, so far, I think you and I have got the right ideas. The big thing also, I would say to everybody off of St. Ambrose, to start working on your passing rotations. As much as you guys have had a good idea at making these one-man plays, those only work for so long. At a certain point, if the defense starts to step up enough for KWU, there's no chance that these standard shots and these weird sort of garbage goals go in. And I mean, that's really what it is these ones that bounce out and just dribble there for a second and someone puts it away. They're great when they come, but they're not consistent. That's not a goal you can force that often. The goals you can force: aerials, passing plays, dribbles on the ground, stuff like what Diversity just did there. That is how you break down a defense and get them nervous, not these weird chaotic plays. So for St. Ambrose here, they got to start trying to play coordinated. If they can do that, they've got a shot at breaking down KWU entirely. But right now, a minute gone, both these teams don't seem to know what they want to do on offense quite yet.
Brodell knew what he wanted to do on offense, and he puts a fantastic shot on net from the wall, the bottom of the curve where the wall meets the floor. And it was a well-placed shot, just somebody was there to defend it. And it's been like that a lot through this whole series. Diversity avoids a bump, able to make a save there. Golden tries to clear it, able to do so. Brodell, next one to touch it, rolls it right down the middle of Main Street very softly. I can't talk.
Sap, though, I mean, listen, as much as you're saying it's a soft play, it's a slow play here, that pass out of Diversity, now that's what we call slow play. There is no clear there out of everybody off of KWU, and Sap, there's the first one to get put in for the advantage. And now the question is can KWU respond within time? Because if they wait too long here, they're going to start giving some momentum to St. Ambrose. And St. Ambrose looking in tip-top form. They could run with that at any moment. Speaking of which, shot on net. Golden going to try and take this the other way. It's a good 50 from Golden. Is anyone there? Diversity is. That is way too high, though. And now that's the end of the offense for KWU. Back the other way. This is looking like a very, very strong St. Ambrose team here. That substitution seems to be working very much in favor of them.
Kraken trying to get a great center. And I want to touch on the last goal when I said when we're talking about soft plays. That was almost throwing a change up to fake him with a fastball.
Absolutely.
As we see Diversity with the ground play, just consistently fantastic with the dribbles. Brodell last back trying to clear it. Get on top of his head, just pops it over, faking one, and the ground plays from KWU are endless.
And now they're starting to try and get some confidence in their plays, and this is what you and I were hoping for. As much as these random one-off goals of chaos and absolute destruction and demoing and bumping like we just saw there, those are great, but they're not something you can rely on necessarily. You sometimes just got to pull out those mechanics and try and out-dribble, outpace, outplay the other team. As it stands right now, these flashy goals are not necessarily coming through for KWU, despite that probably being their best opportunity to get through the defense out of St. Ambrose.
Brodell reading the flick coming from, Sap. Not able to do much. Sap with an opportunity on net. Brodell just misses it, and it's going to be 2-0 in favor of St. Ambrose.
St. Ambrose doing what I was hoping KWU would do right there. That's a great pass down out of Sap, and an even better touch out of Neko to just keep that one in the middle. And then Sap afterwards with the rebound. A good 1-2-3 play out of everyone off of St. Ambrose. And KWU, start taking some notes there. That's the best way to break down a defense and keep them awkward, is use these intricate plays. Right now, KWU, as great as their dribbling is, as we saw from Diversity, doesn't do much if you can't finish off the shot.
Faceless has to meet. Oh, Nico meets up. Sap pushing it up to the side, and that was such an awkward save as Neko and Faceless both went for it. Oh, but a big demo coming out and going the other way. Faceless puts it in.
Oh my word, and now this is a very different game than what we saw previously. These plays are getting set up slow and methodically, and part of the issue is now KWU, they're starting to break down. You can see the hesitations in all of their plays. They've got to be very careful. If they start playing too hesitantly, they're going to give plenty of time to St. Ambrose so that they can start setting up every one of these plays. Speaking of which, well, I guess not. I was going to say St. Ambrose might be able to get another one there, but no one diving on that one in the middle. And now KWU, this is their best opportunity in a while. Speaking of which, Golden going to take advantage of it. It's a nice shot off the corner.
Yeah, fantastic shot here from Golden. And just angled perfectly. Not able to get there is going to be Sap. Last one to try to make the save. Last one back, not able to do so, making it 3-1 with 1 minute, 1 second on the clock. And in the end, it's going to have to be team play here from KWU if they're trying to take game number 2. It can't just be the Golden Show.
It could be, but unfortunately, I don't, like you said, I don't think that's the way that they're going to be able to break this down. And with 44 seconds left, I know you're the man to say it. All it takes is 3 seconds, but realistically, with how well St. Ambrose have played on defense so far, I don't know if they've got the time to break them down. They at least need to score one here and then make a kickoff immediately. Another save coming in front of the net now. KWU, you got to work fast right now, guys. Oh, my word, and that they do. Golden coming flying in out of nowhere. Now they need the kickoff goal, though.
Yeah, Golden knows his teammates so well. He is rotation-minded. His positioning is really fantastic, and it's fun to watch because he realized the moment Brodell did not have control of that ball, he wasn't going to regain control, and he moved forward.
It's a good rotation just overall from everyone off KWU. The big issue for KWU right now is that their attacks have not been lethal thus far. Maybe here, Golden pops this one to the middle. Someone's got to go for it, and it's both players that do. That double commit is probably going to be the nail in the coffin. Not a lot of time left now. As long as KWU, I was going to say, can't get a touch here, St. Ambrose will secure it, and that they will. 3-1, St. Ambrose now tying up the series. Or 3-2, excuse me.
Yeah, 3-2 win for St. Ambrose at a 1-1 series here. And I'm not going to lie, I need a t-shirt that says I'm just here for playoffs or something like that, because like as much fun as league play has been, this has been exciting. So, like every moment I'm hooked on what is going to happen next. And sometimes I'm rooting for the underdogs. In this case, I was rooting for the underdogs at first, and then KWU, I was like, come on, we need to come from behind victory here. And it's just been exciting.
Again, we mentioned KWU come into this one as the third seed, which then gives them the advantage on paper. But the crazy thing about that is that as much as the advantage is on paper, both of these teams had a stellar season. So the question really becomes is how do they finish that one off? KWU in that game, definitely not the performance they were hoping for. We mentioned that Golden is going to be the central striker there, but despite the fact that he had only half their shots, he also had all of their goals. 2 out of the 8 shots of the game went in, despite the fact that 4 of them were not taken by Golden. So KWU's got to start diversifying, give other players an ability to take a shot at net, and make sure that when they do that, they got a solid one. So going into this third game now, this is KWU's game to try and win here. If they can stop the momentum from St. Ambrose, they've got a shot at the series. We'll have to find out. Oh, not a good start for KWU, though.
The momentum train is here from St. Ambrose. Faceless puts it off the corner perfectly, and Sap, he is reading at a 5th grade level, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my word. 5 seconds into the game, that fantastic play comes out. And once again, Faceless putting it back into the corner. Can Sap do it again? Unable to do so. Diversity makes fantastic plays there to bring it out of the corner.
We mentioned this earlier. The hesitation was starting to kill St. Ambrose at a certain point because of the fact that they were just seeing KWU get onto a roll. That was, the first game. Now here, roles have been reversed. Look at how much time Faceless has to get ready for this shot.
How the turns have tabled as Faceless, just confidence. The swagger puts it in there. Oh my word, 2-0, game number 3 in favor of St. Ambrose. And ladies and gentlemen, unless KWU can bring something together here, we could be looking at an upset.
Not only could we be looking at an upset, we could be looking at an upset that, I mean, it's not technically the reverse sweep, but if they get 3 in a row here, I would not be surprised. The momentum is on their side. The defense, however, is not. Diversity's got an open net, and he's going to score that one. What happened to the defense here for St. Ambrose?
They got very excited. They were like, let's score another one, boys. We don't need to play defense. We score. Yes, you do.
Word.
You definitely do, and that showed it right there.
Not only did they need to play defense there, they need to never let that happen again. If they mess up their rotations like that, we know KWU is a competent team. More than a competent team, they are a competent set of strikers. They will shoot it from the other half of the field like we just saw. So KWU, you got to start running with that. Try to get your opponents into an awkward position. If you can work with it, you've got an opportunity. Oh, or you've got an opportunity there. Hold on, I didn't even see Golden shoot this. What just happened?
Demo comes out from Golden, and as he's getting the demo, he is also shooting. The man is multifaceted.
What on earth? All right, so listen, we said it last game. We said, Golden, you're going to need to make sure that you elevate the players around you. You can't do this as a one-man wrecking crew. This game, he says, you sure about that one? because he's just come through here and been an absolute monster. He's got 1 goal so far. Diversity's got a save on the board now, but Golden has also got an assist. So not only is Golden starting to step up, imagine if we get the defense out of everyone off of KWU. Oh my word, I was going to say there would go all of the momentum for St. Ambrose, but if you can even get close to shots like that out of Golden, I got to imagine a lot of that momentum's already gone.
Neko pinching it the opposite way, works out as Sap tries to clear, not able to do so. Neko up for it again, floating it in middle. Oh, and Sap's so quick to beat Diversity to the ball.
Now, as this one goes off the backboard, Faceless is going to put this one out to Neko. This ball not on target. Faceless is not on target either. St. Ambrose, where's that accuracy? You guys 10 seconds ago were deadly. Now you can't find the back of the net. The momentum has legitimately just been sucked entirely out of St. Ambrose and has gone back to KWU. There's no way you're hitting shots like that without momentum on your side. What is happening?
But honestly, the opportunity to take that shot was fantastic in the end. I don't want to take that away. That was fantastic team play there to make the net a wide open net as Golden tries to dribble, bounces it back, but Brodell gets bumped. It's going to be Neko and Faceless going up against Diversity. Diversity goes swing and a miss, but Golden's finally back here. And just the team play from both sides. Once again, I have no words.
This is the, I guess, the best way to put it is the NECC playoffs are just absolutely speechless. There's just no way to react to what we're seeing right now. As much as we said that we were expecting a close game between the two of these teams, I don't think I ever expected momentum to just shift hands so drastically back and forth. First game was absolutely KWU's game. They were dominant in that. Second game was absolutely St. Ambrose's game. And now we get into the third one. This could be anyone's game. Oh my word, especially with Sap making touches like that. Faceless gonna clean this one up, but my word, we gotta give the credit to Sap on this one. What on earth?
So ladies and gentlemen, what he did is he hit the ball enough to slow it down, but not to stop it from moving forward. Never thought about doing that. I won't attempt it.
It's a brilliant play because it does two things. Like you said, not only does it slow it down enough that it's not going to stop moving, you slow it down enough that the defender doesn't have a confident touch that can pop it out of there. When you try and take away the momentum like that, that's the momentum the defender no longer has to get it out of his own half. A great touch by Sap so far. And now Sap, he's the offensive powerhouse we were waiting for on the other side. We've seen him fly through the air with the greatest of ease, and question really now becomes, is he gonna run with that momentum? Neko and Faceless trying to put in another one to end this one off, but Sap's gonna be the final shot for the offense. Golden gonna take this one out. KWU, you've got a minute left. You gotta score here or you're going down in the series, and you just might. Golden's got a shot, and that one's gonna drop on in.
I think Oliver knows what's happening. I think this may be pre-recorded and I haven't been let in on it because every time he's like, KW, you gotta bring it. Oh, you did bring it. Okay, cool.
Listen, the caster curse is usually not my friend. I am, if anyone has seen the regular season, you all know that the caster curse hates me more than anyone. For some reason here today, I've got a grip on the game. The question is do these teams have the same grip I do right now? Both of them seem to have confidence that they can finish this right here. Question is who's going to do it? Sap barely makes the save there. Diversity pops us out to the side. Voltage, we've got 30 seconds left. What do these squads need to do to try and finish this here?
Honestly, St. Ambrose needs to find Sap, and KWU needs to find Golden. They have the. I mean, it's almost a 1v1 out here with the plays that these players have been making, and obviously their team have been helping find them in the middle of the field available for those shots. But these shots have been crazy as Diversity floats up. Golden's last one back. Brodell is meeting him on the wall. Golden's there and not able to keep it up in the air. Once the ball touches the ground, that is the end of the game. And because the game is tied, we are in a game 3 overtime. Almost a cooked-off goal. Not able to do it. Sap brings it up the wall, picks up boost, and leaves it for Kraken. But Diversity says, no, sir, that's mine.
goes out to the middle. Neko's going to have a touch that goes the opposite way. We're about 20 seconds into this overtime. It feels like it's been 5 minutes already here. I mean, you can just feel the pressure these teams are under right now. You can cut the tension with a knife. I mean, it's just ridiculous how close these two squads are to finishing this here and now. But the crazy thing is as much as this is only game 3, this is for the lead. This could be incredibly important to the rest of the series here. Yes, you can try and tie it up if you lose here in the next game, or you could win it here and then try to finish the series. Diversity gonna try to finish it here, and Diversity with the solo play, giving his team the lead here in the series.
He alley-ooped it to himself. That's what he just did. The man is insane. How many times are these players going to take words out of my mouth with the insane plays that they're making? It's first, we're looking at Mountain Drew and game number 3 with the incredible saves from last series. And now, game after game in this series, it's just fantastic play on both sides of the ball.
I just can't believe this. I mean, it's just ridiculous how well everybody's playing. You and I were banking on it being either Golden or Sap to finish off this series. They end up at the top of the scoreboard for both teams, but it turns out it's not going to be him who finishes the game. Diversity with his second goal of the game. I mean, really, Diversity was all over the field. As much as Golden was involved in every single goal KWU had, 2 assists and 2 goals. At the same time, Diversity had 2 goals of his own and 2 saves on the opposite end. And also finishing somehow with a 200% shot total. So, 2 for 1. You got to imagine Diversity's doing something right here.
Yeah, the man's batting 2,000. You just said so. I mean, you can't be doing anything wrong with those numbers. So, ladies and gentlemen, game 4 starts up. KWU currently has a 2-1 lead in the series, and we're starting up here. It's Rocket League at its finest.
Literally, this is Rocket League. There's nothing else we can really say at this point. This is about as high-flying as you can get it right now. This is going to be a battle for the ages. Both of these squads, they are playing well. They are playing precise. The question is, which one of them walks away with the win here? We got about 4 minutes and 45 seconds to find out. And it looks like Sap's going to be the one to start off. St. Ambrose off to a clean start.
Can you do that? Is that okay? He's got to be breaking laws with that.
Oh my word. Sap's control over the speed of the ball here today is just unbelievable. The ability to get that second touch and then drop it low like that. I mean, well, you and I, we can both agree, we'd love to be hitting touches like that in our ranked games.
I would love to do it once against bots.
Okay.
In fact, nothing there. I just want to hit it once.
I think I can attest when I say that both you and I can really drive home. If you guys have never picked up Rocket League, to any of you folks watching at home, whether on ESTV, on our Twitch, or any of the other streaming, you have to go and try and some of these plays that these players are making right now. It may look all too simple, but the truth of the matter is, these are some of the best plays these guys can be making right now. And with a minute gone here, St. Ambrose with the lead right now. I'm just waiting to see what crazy play they make next.
And honestly, if you're looking at the 2 top goal scorers from these teams, it's mechanics going up against rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Golden, he's doing some nice stuff, but like he is just in the right place at the right time, making it look effortless when he does score. Sap over here just putting the ball exactly where he wants it every time, effortlessly once again, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, right now it's looking like the battle for the ages as it stands right now. The question is can KWU get some sort of play together? Because they don't need to get a play together on the St. Ambrose half right now. They just need to give the ball over to Sap and see how he can set one up for everybody. Sap has either made sure that the team's got an open opportunity or he's got an open opportunity. So the question really becomes which of these teams gets that play set up first. And how about none of them? Brodell realizing the missed rotation on the back half here. He's got an open goal off this miss on the ceiling and just rips it on in. Good stuff out of Brodell to stay heads up here.
I can't. Oh, Faceless with an opportunity, puts it off the back wall. Is his teammate gonna get there? Oh, Brodell is there to save it, and I am literally holding myself up by my arms. It's exciting. Oh,
What just happened?
Word. I'm just sitting here like doing chin-ups or whatever this is.
For all of you who didn't quite understand what just happened, we went from one end of the field to the other, an open net for Faceless. That miss then turns into a follow-up rotation from everyone on his team, triple committing. Everyone's on their half, and now KWU, from being down less than 30 seconds ago, 1-0, they're now up 2-1. They could finish this series here and now. Diversity tries to rip off a shot, a great save out of Faceless, and now St. Ambrose, they've got to try and control this one. If they give any more momentum to KWU, they might as well have lost the series.
Set up for the save, able to push it away, but just enough. Not too much force put on that, more than necessary. Oh, what an attempt for a bump. Rodell's trying to fly off the sidewall and bump. Faceless fakes out Diversity just for a moment, causes hesitation, and a double commit here on the side of KWU. Golden's got to get back. NECC's up. NECC's higher. Rodell pops it back up. Golden's got to save it, but Sap puts it underneath Golden, and it's going to be a 2-2 game with 2 minutes left on the clock. Oh, my word.
Oh, my gosh.
I never need caffeine again.
Honestly, here's the big thing. I mean, we mentioned it all day. It's rotations versus mechanics. Sap coming in there, faking that he's about to slam that one right into the face of Golden, but instead plays it slow, drops it low. The precision is there, and so is the precision for NECC, not for Brodell for sure. What a flick, but also what happened on the defense here?
Diversity tried to cut in, I think causing Brodell a little hesitation, and he just wasn't ready to go up for it.
Oh my word, and now 2-3 after fighting so hard to get the lead for KWU here. They lose it in just a short amount of time from 2-1 to 3-2. St. Ambrose have regained the lead here. They've got a little bit of time left on the clock, about 1:45. All St. Ambrose have to do now is try and hold off this KWU offense, otherwise known as keep the ball away from Golden.
Yeah, but I mean, Diversity has a goal of his own this game and 2 last games, so he is definitely a player to watch here. And Brodell is actually leading the team in points this game, so it has not been as much of a Golden show as I've predicted it would be, and it's become a sap show. The touches he's making and his team is making with NECC's touch on the flick over Brodell. Faceless trying to follow it up. Top right corner, not able to do so, and a counterattack could have come out of it, but it was denied. And once again, St. Ambrose is just there quicker. I'm on with Diversity. He has boost. Brodell has boost. I'm jumping on with Golden, who's the only player on the side of KWU without boost. And it's just insane.
It's
what
a
these
completely
players
different field. It's just so different than what we had seen before. Speaking of which, Diversity almost gets a shot in. I don't know about your screen, but on my screen, that one was basically in. I don't understand how they walked away with a save there. St. Ambrose thinking they're lucky stars. They've got 20 seconds left to hold off this onslaught, and if they do, they force a Game 5 here that, I mean, honestly, I don't think I was expecting this, especially with the start. Kansas Wesleyan had. Diversity's going to be there with 12 seconds left. He's going to follow up this touch from Golden, and we might have overtime on our hands, ladies and gents.
You don't need to go to Six Flags. This is a roller coaster, ladies and gentlemen. I am having a lot of fun with this one. It's game number 3, 12 seconds left, as Oliver just said. Faceless trying to bring the ball up the left side, trying to beat Brodell. Brodell shuts that down and shuts Sap down. And they're trying to scurry back on defense. Faceless tries to put it up against the ground, bring it to overtime. Not able to do so, but there is the drop, and that was heart-wrenching.
And now here comes the biggest test for St. Ambrose they will face all season. You guys have fought tooth and nail to get up to this point. You have put all the pressure upon KWU that you can. You almost finished it out in regulation. You're here in overtime. You cannot allow them to gain momentum. KWU need to be stopped, and with a miss from Diversity, this could spell disaster for KWU. That it will. NECC's going to go cross court, and we have Game 5.
Huh? How? I mean, fantastic for Neko, and way to be there and fantastic play. But after the defense that KWU just showed for about 2 minutes straight of onslaught after onslaught, they go the other way trying to score quickly. And Neko, 2 goals, and your score leader this game, just being in the right place at the right time. The man is fortunate. And you know how you watch those TV shows and every week they say this is the most exciting episode yet? It's been that way. As this one goes into overtime, it's just fantastic.
And the crazy thing, I mean, we mentioned this going into the series just initially. We thought that this was going to be a close one. The first 2 games seemed very one-sided. Either team could have taken it. The third game, about as even as this one. The fourth game, I mean, you saw it. It was as even as could be. Even the stats are lining up pretty well in comparison here. 8 saves to St. Ambrose, and meanwhile, 12 shots. Meanwhile, KWU, 5 saves and 14 shots. I mean, the stats aren't all that off. These are pretty even teams as it stands right now. So, I mean, going into this 5th game, this one is a coin flip. Either team could walk away with a win here. KWU, they got to be kicking themselves. They fought so hard to come back in that last game. They've got to finish it out here. You have had the lead at 2-1. You had the lead at 2-1 in the 4th game to secure it, to possibly end this series 3-1. You have your last chance to finish out this series. KWU, this is your series to lose. St. Ambrose, this is yours to win. Prove right now why you guys are the team that needs to go to the 2nd round. 10 seconds in, and we're already at chaos. Can KWU score here to start the series? Diversity up the wall. Sap tosses out to the middle. Is someone there? Faceless misses this. Brodell's there for the shot. Oh my word. St. Ambrose giving about as much time as physically possible to KWU to set up a goal there.
Brodell put it in the corner, and I do want to stress, if you're watching this on Twitch or even ESTV live, where every playoff game is going to be broadcasted, if we broadcast it, it'll be there. This is the number 6 seed, St. Ambrose, winning in Game 4 overtime to the number 3 seed. It is a 6-team tournament as Sap puts it in for goal number 5, and I just look over at Bass from the past, and he's got the biggest eyes I've ever seen. He is done.
I'm baffled. What happened there? This is clutch time. This is not the time to make mistakes or go for balls and challenges that you know you can't touch. I'm not sure who flew up for that one on KWU, but you have absolutely just put your team in a horrid position now. You're down 1-0 against the St. Ambrose team, which has been incredibly effective, but maybe not at the open net. Faceless, I think that's the 3rd open net miss he's had this series.
Oh, what a demo coming out from Golden, and I just lost all off. Great demo, but back there is Neko is ready. I hit a chord.
And back to the middle, this one goes again. Faceless trying to get another shot on target. I mean, honestly, are you sure your audio didn't just cut out from the sheer amount of excitement and electricity in the room? Because honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. 3.5 minutes left, and my word, Voltage, I don't think this could be any more tense.
I mean, this reminds me of the Challenger Series when Alabama 2 went up against HCC 1 and we were dumbfounded, and that was week 7. This is week 1 of playoffs, and both games so far, I've sounded more like Tim the Toolman Taylor than I ever have with
The question is, I mean, really, as great as this is and as amazing as this series is, we've got another game after this as well, and when we've got 2 more rounds. This is just round 1. It's a 3 versus 6 seed right now. If you think this is close, imagine what either one of these teams does once they get to the next round. They're going to be fighting more than like their life depends on it. They're going to be fighting like they deserve to make it to the finals. So half the game left here. It's looking like St. Ambrose is going to be that team, but KWU, they're on the prowl. They need 1 to tie this up.
Yeah, and I felt like as soon as you started saying something, just the way your caster's curse has been working for KWU, that they were about to put that in, I was gonna be dumbfounded.
How about right now? How about diversity? Oh my word!
Oh, trying the Doomsday with no boost, that is gold, sir. Neko going up, saying if Sap can do it, so can I. Golden coming across the net, looking like Mountain Drew. It's Halloween. He's going as Mountain Drew.
Oh my word, and as this one's ripped off the backboard, Diversity does not have the touch. He flips away from the ball. St. Ambrose now going to be back on offense, and with a panicking Brodell, that one is not going to be in. I was about to say Sap should have this, but he shoots it high. The offense still continuing here for St. Ambrose, but they're overcommitting a little bit. Sap's going to make the touch to slow it down, but St. Ambrose should be up 2-0 right now. That was a guaranteed goal for Sap.
Yeah, it was a open net, and he just misses it. But at this point, you've got 1 minute and 20 seconds ahead of you in the final minutes of this series, and possibly in overtime. But Sap and the rest of St. Ambrose need to calm down, focus on rotations, focus on trying to get another one in there. Oh, and Golden's there to stop it. Meanwhile, KWU needs to stop getting on their heels, get off the balls of your feet, and move forward, boys. We are down to crunch time. Do or die situation. You're playing for overtime. They're playing for round 2 of the NECC playoffs. I can't talk. Oh my word, I forgot to see. That's how bad it is.
This is just... First off, the defense for KWU, we understand why you guys are on full-out offense, but you can't afford to give up a goal like that. Second off, St. Ambrose, I have never seen a speedier team in my life. St. Ambrose is whipping it around the field right there. They literally were on that ball within seconds, and now they're going to rip one the other way. Brodell needs to make a save, and he will... Sap continues to be the offensive powerhouse we've been seeing all day. And 3-0 with 40 seconds left. Listen, I know you're not the one to say, you know, it's over too early, but I don't know about it. This one might just be over.
I mean, Brodell, that was a sick shot. It just was on the wrong one. I can't. This is fantastic, Rocket League, and I'm so excited to be here to be able to watch this, and I wish I had the words. But at this point, St. Ambrose University, the number 6 seed, is leading by 3 in a Game 5 with less than 15 seconds on the clock. KWU is out of time.
Just don't have the time anymore left. KWU, after fighting tooth and nail to get here, after having what we thought would be one of the most successful seasons in the NECC, they go down in Game 5. St. Ambrose are your winners of round 1 here in the Challengers Division. My mind is basically blown. I have nothing else to say, or excuse me, Champions Division. I had that backwards. My mind is just basically blown. I've got nothing else to say besides the fact that St. Ambrose, congratulations on having what I will say, so far, at least in my casting experience, the toughest mentality I have ever seen. You guys could have tapped out of that series at any moment. You had multiple opportunities. The last couple games where it could have just gone completely the wrong way with you, yet you pulled it off. And I mean, really, now here in the booth, we've got the man that, or we should be pulling in the man that we want to speak to in a couple seconds. Sap, if we can get him in here, we'd love to know what his opinion was of this of this final game. I mean, really, that was just, what on earth? What an incredible match.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Faceless had some fantastic goals. Neko, fantastic goals. But it all came down to the man, the myth, the legend, Sap from St. Ambrose. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Astonishing game tonight.
Sounds like you guys might be a little bit hyped there. You guys all celebrating that win right now?
Yes, sir. We're all standing up. COVID regulations saying, let's go, baby.
I'm loving it. So, your mechanics, unreal. The touches you got, several times you hit the ball, which made it look like it would stop, but somehow you're on the other side, it keeps going towards your car. I don't get it. I don't understand it. How long have you been playing this game?
I've been playing this game for about 5 years, and to be honest with you, mechanics are a big deal, but understanding when you can have the ball versus when you can lose it, having teammates that understand your positioning is just vital to how we win our games.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys did a great job. We mentioned how much it really became a rotational battle at a certain point. Every single player on your team was backing you up for everything. I mean, there were some plays we saw out of, I mean, obviously you had what we would call probably the goals of the day. Every one of your goals was just ridiculous, but diversity coming through with a lot of nice double taps and some other plays, the dribbling plays that you guys all had on your team. I mean, really, you guys just had a great day all around as a squad. Are you guys hoping that you can keep this momentum up going into the next round? I mean, is the plan basically the same thing when you face, I believe is it Montana next round? Illinois Wesleyan, excuse me. Illinois next round.
They're going to be playing Durham.
Excuse me, Durham. Oh, never mind. You've got another undefeated team. So really, either way, I mean, you could be playing Illinois or Durham. Is your plan basically just go against the undefeated teams the same way you've battled here today?
Yes, just very controlling, understanding what type of players. Like we noticed, one of the players was very mechanically inclined, and he was just all adaptability to understanding that this guy, he's going to get the ball, he's going to get 3 touches. This is how we're going to be taking down these big time teams. And all respect to all of the players. That we're all here to have fun and have a good time. Respect and love all of them.
So before we let you go, because we do want to let you go and celebrate, I got one last question. When you guys, so I think the pivotal point for, I would say, me and Voltage, when we were freaking out the most was Game 4. You guys had just gone down against KWU. It was 2-1. You had held on to a 1-0 lead pretty much the whole game, and then you managed to bring it to 3-2. They then score on you, but then you win it in overtime. The booth was lighting up. What was the feel like for you guys? Were you just trying to not panic as much as you could every time they scored?
Well, to be honest, if anybody was panicking, it was everybody in this room shouting and screaming, and it's hyping everybody up. We're just having a great time. Happy smiles on our faces under these COVID masks, We're doing great.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Good luck against Durham next week. Everybody, you can catch that game 8:30 Monday night, November 16th. Make sure you're here and watch the Sap Green come alive here, because he is electric, as Jaron would say.
Thank you very much, Sap. We appreciate you coming through here today, my guy. Anyone you want to give a shout out to real quick?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my team, my coach, and I want to give a shout out to my best friend sitting right next to me. Definitely the hype man of the group. And I just want to thank you guys for the interview, and thank you for everything you guys do.
You're very welcome, my guy. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, and that's Sap. We want to appreciate him, or we want to thank him for coming through here today. We hope that you guys had about as much fun as me and Voltage did here today, because Voltage, I don't know about you, it's going to be pretty hard to top that series. That was insane.
I definitely think I might have had a stroke. Not sure.
A little bit too much excitement in the booth here, but we're not done quite yet, guys. That's the crazy part about today here, is that we've got more games coming up, or, well, not more games, I should say. We've got a game coming up for you guys. I'm going to be dipping out of the booth here. However, we're going to have CMU versus NTC. This is a rematch from the season, so we're going to see who comes out here on top. Central Methodist at the number 4 seed, North Central Technical College at the 5 seed. Both of these teams, they've got a shot at making it through here, Voltage. I got to say, I mean, I'm jealous. You're about to see another ridiculous match.
Yet I certainly am. This is the first match, the matchup of these two teams that went to Game 5, and I'm trying to find who won it. And off the top of my head, I'm being told CMU won 3 minutes into Game 5 overtime. First ever Game 5 here for Rocket League NECC. So this is a match that you don't want to miss. As these two teams have histories. Stick with us, and we will be back shortly.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the NECC. And we have another matchup for you. But if you are just joining us, my goodness, we just saw one of the biggest upsets in the NECC history. And I am joined today. I could not be more excited that I have Voltage Plays and Oliver Bass with me. And boys, you guys were just on the call of one of the best games I have seen all year long.
That may be the best game of Rocket League I've ever seen. Just in the intensity of the players, it was fantastic to watch, and I'm so glad I was here for that.
Absolutely. And listen, we don't have a lot of time to break down what happened in the past because all roads move forward as we have another match here in the Champions Division as number 4 Central Methodist University comes in to face North Central Technical College. NTC comes in as the 5 seed. Guys, we just saw a barn burner of an upset and now turn around and we have the 4 and the 5 seed against each other. I tell you what, Oliver, tonight's action is just nonstop.
Oh, yeah, and I don't expect that there's going to be any sort of change in the next game. After what we just saw there versus a 3 and a 6 seed, you got to imagine the 4 and the 5 are going to be pretty close, especially considering, if I'm not mistaken, the last time these two teams faced up against each other, CMU barely squeaked it out with a 3-2 victory in a Game 5 overtime. So if history is anything to show, which history has been pretty consistent so far today, I think we might have another match on our hands that blows the roof off this place.
I'm going to refer to you, Voltage. When you have a game that is like that you maybe came off a game that went all the way to a 3-2 overtime victory, what are you doing as a team to get prepared now seeing that same team in the postseason?
Well, it's a very different scenario because when those two teams played each other in the regular season, that was the first time they met each other. And a lot of these teams haven't had a chance to play 5 games unless they're scrimming outside of it against a team that they're now facing in the playoffs. So it's really something that it's a different series. They've been able to feel each other out through 5 games before, and now they are prepared for what these teams can do, and they definitely have talked about how to defend against it.
Absolutely. You are completely right. And listen, we have been nonstop action since we got started. I believe we started at 5 p.m. Eastern time. It is now 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for all being here tonight. Obviously on our Twitch channel, it has been an unbelievable response. And of course, I want to remind you guys that all of the esports action you are seeing is brought to you guys by our partners. A massive thank you to our friends at Helix Esports for all they do behind the scenes. Of course, our friends at Meta Pro Gaming and Really for all they do behind the scenes to let us do the little things that we do that you get to see online. Of course, you will see all of our casters here at the NECC equipped with that beautiful X on the side of their head because HyperX, some of the best gear in gaming, a proud partner and a sponsor of the NECC playoffs. We are so grateful for their support. And of course, if you're watching us on Twitch, you can also check us out on ESTV. ESTV, our linear TV partner, now available on Samsung TV Plus, Vizio, the Roku channel, and all other platforms where you can get esports action from around the globe, including all of the NECC playoffs live on their platform. I tell you what, we are going to let the teams let them know that we are ready to get into the game. I'm still worked up from that last game too, guys. It is going to be an unbelievable matchup. And prediction from you, Oliver, because you are going to be in the post-game show with me. What are you thinking as we go into this match? Who pulls this one out?
So honestly, I mean, we've talked about this all season. I think that both of these teams here have a whole lot of potential. They've got a chance, both of them, to pull away with this one. But my sleeper pick really for the entirety of this season has been CMU. They have been a solid squad this entire league, the entire time that they have played. I mean, they have done really well. My question is can they pull it off here?
Well, we are going to find out because, ladies and gentlemen, we have action, a kick on goal, a follow-up, and it's not there, Volt.
All right, so I do want to mention, isn't Lightning on CMU generally?
Absolutely. I do believe so. correct?
He's one of the players to watch from CMU, and I do not see him here unless there was a name change since the last time I've seen these teams play. But at this point, it is going to be CMU a second shot. Make that a third shot on goal. They are relentless at this point. Blast and Roadrunner meet in the middle there. Blue team is going to be CMU, while the orange team is going to be North Central Technical College. Blast trying to move it forward. At this point, NTC has yet to get a shot on goal. Jaron, anything that you're seeing that these teams can do differently here?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's a lot of fast-paced action as the ball's played in, but we're seeing a couple double commits, nothing too crazy. But right now, I really want to see some more on-goal pressure. But, I mean, it's just the start. I think both these teams are trying to figure themselves out. We've just seen a couple shots on goal, so it's going to be interesting to see what we do as we go a little bit deeper into this best-of-5 series.
Oh, what a touch. Oh, on NTC, thank you. What a touch there from Frauhorn, I believe. But Koi Boy following it out. Sorry, that was Blast that had the amazing touch there on net. Roadrunner on the wall, pushing it out. And so, as I was just told, Lightning normally plays on NTC. And so it's a different squad that we're seeing. On NTC, we're going to have Koi Boy, Blast, and Frauhorn. On the other side, CMU is going to be Roadrunner, Phantom, and Grand SZN.
Absolutely. Ball played in to the side. Let's see. I mean, Volt, one of the things that I'm noticing, and I've noticed this all night, the aggressive play has just been ridiculous. We've seen a lot of demos, and you see one right there, and a lot of bumps tonight in the gameplay.
Oh, Phantom having to hit that ball from the way he was positioned, and you're exactly right. This is going to be a more physical game. These teams have met each other. They know who to shut down as Blast has an opportunity in front, not able to do so. Koi follows in Grand with a fantastic save from the wall. Frauhorn, the one up in the air against Phantom. They meet in the middle. Big 50 and Frauhorn and Blast with a back pass. And what a move to get out of the way there. Blast following it in, securing the goal.
And if we look at if you look at the replay there, I mean, he hit it from mid-court. Blast able to go ahead and follow that up. I mean, that was a massive goal.
Absolutely. And I like his, he wasn't overconfident that nobody was going to be there to save it. He followed it in, but didn't touch it just in case he might have messed up the trajectory. Koi Boy decides to leave it. And what a great chance at a bump there. These teams are being physical and physical early. Currently NTC with an early lead as the ball kind of floats out there. Koi Boy trying to shut that opportunity down, able to get there. Sorry, Koi Boy trying to continue the opportunity. Oh, and Blast puts it in the back of Frauhorn. Phantom can't move it over enough. Nobody's there to follow it, and Blast pushing it away.
Ooh, and you'd love to have seen one of his teammates be in position to put that ball in the back of the net. Definitely feel like that was an opportunity missed there for this CMU team.
Absolutely. Another opportunity missed as Phantom trying to pass it out mid, but it goes farther back than he wants to. And what a touch.
And, like you said, an unbelievable touch as Grand sends it across the middle. Phantom with the upside down two-wheel jam, and the defender not able to get back, and a massive 1-1 lead.
I've been playing this game for 5 years. I'm Diamond 3, which is top like 15% or so. I can't do that. I've tried. And Grand there's no R in his name. Gand puts it in for a second goal on the side of CMU. Back-to-back goals.
My goodness. And Gand says, you guys, the casters might not be able to do it, but I can sure do it. And it's a 2-1 advantage. I mean, we are seeing some high-level Rocket League here tonight. Well,
yeah, absolutely. This is my third game on, your fourth game watching, and it's been non-stop excitement.
Absolutely.
And Frauhorn putting it mid. Koi Boy up off the back wall. Goes straight down because it hits the curve where the ceiling meets the wall. Blast there to continue this pressure. Frauhorn picking up mid boost from the very top of the wall, just barely touching that. Trying to go out for a redirect. Blast puts it down towards Frauhorn. Frauhorn turns off the wall, sending it over to Blast. Blast has to get up quick, not able to do so. Koi, gets bumped by Roadrunner. And going the other way is going to be CMU, and these teams know to bring the heat as 3 shots hit the top of the cross.
No, absolutely. Like you said, 30 seconds left, a 1-goal advantage right here. Let's see if this plays out. NTC needing to get something going, but right now they can't even get an offensive on board because they're having to stay in their goal playing defense. Maybe an opportunity for Cowboy.
11 seconds on the clock, and Phantom and the leading team, CMU, try to dribble it in. Blast there to shut it down. There are the 3 seconds gone. This is score now or not at all. Not able to do so. CMU taking a very close game 1 over NTC.
Absolutely. I mean, and a massive, massive win in that first game. As I look at the leaderboard, the shots on goal is the massive difference. 5 shots by Phantom, 3 by Gand, Roadrunner 2. And I mean, you have 5 shots by Phantom and only 4 shots by the entire NTC team. That is not the way you'd want that stat line to go, Volt.
Yeah, I do want to point out that you see what 10 shots there. They saved 4 of them, but only 2 went in. So they were missing just just off where the game counted as a shot, but it didn't go in. So we're really looking for them to up that accuracy if they want to run away with this. On the other side, Blast with an early goal, getting the first goal of the series, and nothing else coming from them at all. Frauhorn with 2 shots, Koiboy with 1, and Blast with 1. Their offense needs to wake up. They did fantastic job on defense for 90% of that game. They really need to wake up this offense that they have, and I'm excited to see it as we move into game 2.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I think is so important that you've talked about, and you've talked about it multiple times, is the amount of transitions and the way that they're getting in position. And by far, Volt, I think that this game is close. I think this game is close. I don't think, I mean, 2-1 advantage here, but I don't think NTC is anywhere near out of this.
Oh, absolutely not. Give me just one moment. Sorry, I can't type and talk at the same time as I'm letting the teams know that we are ready to go, and they are too, joining quickly. They're excited to get this series going.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow us on social media at NECC Games as we have kickoff in Game 2 of this best-of-5 series. The 4 seed and the 5 seed are live in the Rocket League Playoffs.
Absolutely. We saw CMU take an early lead, and Gand trying to continue that. Phantom following it up. Blast 50s, puts him out of position. Great center and a great clear from Frauhorn.
Absolutely.
Oh, last back. What? Last back was Phantom, and he hits the nuttiest save. It's incredible what these players can do.
Absolutely. And the ball played, like you said, unbelievable shots in the air. But the saves have been there as well, as Phantom with an opportunity right there as well.
Oh, Frauhorn gets a great dunk. Oh, man. Gand makes a fantastic play to leave it for the time being. Kind of wait, realize he's got time, push it out to the side, but Frauhorn there to get the dunk. And the first goal, once again, in game number 2, goes on the side of NTC here. They're able to score early. Let's see if they're able to continue this pressure and score late.
Absolutely. You thought that Gand was maybe going to be able to clear that ball, but a great play and a slow play puts the ball in the net. Now let's see, as the ball goes to the side, if NTC, what they're going to do here, if they can maybe add to their lead.
Trying for a team clinch, puts both of them out of the position as Roadrunner puts it off the top of the crossbar. Nobody there on the side of CMU to follow it, and Koiboy tries to clear it. Not a fantastic touch. Gives it over to Gand, but a fantastic bump afterwards. Roadrunner putting a shot on net. Phantom showing his technical skill in the air. Able to put it to the side.
Absolutely.
Gand once again going to the side. Koiboy backing up, trying to read Phantom off the back wall there. Roadrunner trying to get a goal in, not able to do so, and fantastic defense on the side of NTC as they are the leaders in this game. If they can't score, you can't lose.
You're absolutely right. CMU looking to try to get something. The ball is in their end, and they have not been able to make any sort of offensive, and they're not going to be able to do it now as Koi Boy puts another one in the back of the net for NTC.
Absolutely. And if I remember correctly, last series went back and forth, and this time it's not reverse sweep. I lied. I did not remember this correctly at all. But as we move on, CMU was able to reverse sweep. Currently, they are up in the series this time, but down in game number 2. Roadrunner trying to find Gan. Gan decides to stay back because he is the only defender in that scenario. Great smart thinking there. Blast gets demoed from Phantom. Roadrunner flying through the air, trying to clear it out. No, nothing is really happening for CMU as they're trying to clear this ball. Phantom, oh, what an opportunity, but Blast reads it perfectly.
Opportunity on the net right there. Big save. Looks like it's going to be played to the inside, but it's going to be off. We might see another advantage right here. Oh, this could be an opportunity. Phantom with the ball, but no, Koi Boy with the save. But the follow, oh!
Absolutely incredible. Thank you, Jaron. I couldn't speak. I'm over here just enjoying this fantastic Rocket League at its finest here. AZ Roadrunner with the ceiling shot, not able to do it. Did use that flick quickly, but he also jumped off the ceiling there. Gand taking his time. Oh, just missing. Both players missing in the corner there. Blast having to back up to support his team. Phantom comes flying in, hits the tires just wrong, but maybe it was just right. Never mind. Koi Boy bumping his own team. Some miscommunication on the side of NTC.
You're absolutely right, and Frauhan almost put another one in there. Maybe Phantom trying to put a run together as he clears the ball into the corner. Going to take it up the side, but no. Goes back to the middle, and Frauhan puts it back into the CMU side.
Yeah, and every time that I see Phantom moving the ball up the field, I feel like he's centering it, and Roadrunner and Gand are just back waiting.
You're absolutely right. Oh my gosh, the post gets involved again, Voltage.
Yeah, not that time as they were the ones playing up together. Gand once again going for it. Phantom off to the left, reading it, trying to send it off the wall, not able to get a touch there, and just trying to cause as much ruckus as he tries to get out of that play. No way! What a shot there from Phantom, and the follow-up from Gans. I can't.
I mean, what impressive goals. We look at the replay here. He pops all the way up and barely gets the top of the ball. The angle is just perfect for Gan as he puts one in and just lowers this deficit to 1 goal.
Yes, absolutely right. Cuts the deficit in half. But if they give Blast that much time, it won't be in half anymore. At this point, Phantom needs to score this, but AZ saves it.
Ooh, that was a great shot on goal right there and a massive, massive save to try to keep them out of overtime here.
Yeah, Roadrunner just saved it from Phantom, his own teammate. Phantom trying to bring it forward. Oh, and a fantastic shot by the other team. They're making such misplays.
Wow.
As it was put down from Koi Boy. I've never seen that at the end of the game, a save from the team that's down, and then a almost goal from the team that's up, like an own goal.
Well, and here we are, Voltage. We sit here after 2 games with 2-1 victories, and now we have a 1-1 match going into game 3.
Yeah, back and forth, and at this point, I couldn't even tell you who's gonna win this. I couldn't make a prediction. It's so close. And luckily you didn't ask me beforehand, so I don't have to. At this point, I'm just excited to see some fantastic Rocket League as I'm sorry, I'm behind the scoreboard. There are plays, and I can't believe that some of these just happened all in one game.
No, you're right. And one of the things that I think is interesting, CMU still had the shot advantage on goal. So NTC, less shots on goal, but end up with the 2-1 victory. I mean, it's impressive to see what you're doing, and I cannot wait for game 3.
As game 3 is starting to load up here. once again, you said CMU had the shot advantage. They had great pressure, but NTC pushed out at the perfect times. And that's what I'm looking to see again if they want to continue this. CMU, they've got the shot advantage. They need to go in there and get a little bit more physical. And that's what I'm looking from them. So keep an eye out, see if these teams make any changes from last game. And let's get into game number 3 as the series is tied 1-1.
That is right. The NECC playoffs in full swing as Central Methodist University faces off against North Central Technical College. Man, this is a heck of a matchup, and we have seen them. And there's an opportunity, but Koi Boy right off the jump with the big save.
Yeah, Gan takes a fantastic shot. Maybe not the quickest you've ever seen. As Roadrunner, I've said reading at a 5th grade skill level before, but this man's in college reading at... I can't... I don't even know. The man's insane. Reading it off the backboard, getting a touch straight down. Almost unsavable position as Phantom wins a kickoff. Frauhan has to push it out. Never mind, Koi Boy is there.
Man, and what a massive play for CMU. Roadrunner so big in the last match, trying to get them into the playoffs here, and so he is looking just as good today. But let's see right now. I'm interested to see what NTC has in store as they prove that they can put goals in the net as they won the last round. So let's see as the ball's played in to the CMU side.
Blast trying to get a read off the back wall of his own as Koi Boy puts it off the corner, trying to center for teammates. Phantom, a rare miss from him. He's normally one of the more solid players. Gand, pushes it out. Not able to do much in the corner there, but definitely does get a shot after it bounces out. Blast bring it back the other way. Roadrunner, the first one to contest, and he continues to contest until Phantom says, "Let me get it." And he does. Koi Boy just misses it as Roadrunner and Phantom work together. A bump in net, I believe, if I can see correctly. Yeah, Phantom went in and tried to bump. No demo, but definitely a smart play there. Trying to make it where his teammates had one less defender as he was out of the play already. Phantom stealing on the other side of the field. CMU currently have the lead, just over a minute and a half gone, and Phantom, oh, it could just read off the ceiling perfectly, but Blast is the one back.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And these teams are flying around like crazy. And Koi Boy right now, Volt, has just been unbelievable on the defensive side and the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the solid players that when I went back and watched that and that game, and we've seen him several times on stream, he is consistent. He's not going to make the flashy plays. He's not going to mess up all that often. And that's the same thing with Phantom, but Phantom's going to put a little flash on it every once in a while. As Roadrunner pops it up, and Phantom trying to dunk on Blast. Kind of does as it goes straight to Roadrunner, who's going to try to flick it over. He does. Ooh, a save from the consistent Koi Boy.
Oh, what a beautiful flick it was indeed. And Phantom plays this ball on the side, and oh, his teammate is not there. I thought Roadrunner was going to put that ball in the back of the net, but a missed touch.
Very close there from Roadrunner. Phantom pushes it off to his own corner. Roadrunner there to bring it forward, and a shot on goal. Frauhan able to get back in time. The man was Lightning McQueen. He said, "I am speed," the way he got back to that net.
You're absolutely right. And right now, this CMU team is just pure offensive, and another save by Frauhan.
If you've been watching all stream, you understand my inability to speak in those moments, and it's so exciting. These two teams, with a minute and a half left in the game, are going at it. They are fighting tooth and nail. Blast leaving it for Koi Boy. Koi Boy trying to get a soft shot and follow up. Phantom going up against Frauhan. Tries to fake him, not able to do so, and we're back to midfield with Roadrunner trying to find the back of the net, and a great slowdown there. After such pressure, he gets another touch that slows the ball down, puts it more at an angle. It was a fantastic idea. Not able to... it doesn't work, though, as Roadrunner might have centered it for the other team. Koi Boy continues the pressure from NTC, but Gand shuts it down. Roadrunner off the back wall. Back to Gand, who just missed it.
And he just put it right to the left side of the net. Koi Boy with an opportunity. Pass it down to Frauhan, but Phantom is there.
Phantom is there indeed, trying to find a teammate in the middle of the field. Roadrunner was there, just missed it. Phantom from a pass from Gan, not able to do that. And this chemistry that we're seeing on CMU is almost unrivaled, but you've seen the games before, and all these teams are playing so well together. This is top level college Rocket League as Phantom puts it in for a second goal of the game, and it's going to be a very hard fought 25 seconds for CMU.
And CMU is literally just sliding. I mean, Phantom there, we saw that replay. He slid in after the double touch from both teammates and the opponent and slid underneath and put that ball in the net. Phantom is all over the field right now, Voltage.
Yeah, Phantom is going to be the player to watch on that side, but Roadrunner is the score leader currently, but that doesn't mean much. All that matters is that the win or the loss at the end of these 5 games. Boy turning upfield oddly. I guess he was trying to get a pass. They are down by 2, but that is going to be it as the timer reaches 0. They're just waiting for the ball to touch the ground. There's no way NTC can come back from this as Boy just puts it out in the middle of the field. Brauhan, they're trying to get something going, but Gan shuts it down.
Absolutely. And CMU takes the 2-1 advantage into the next game. And my goodness, we have seen, I mean, as I look at the leaderboard, I am extremely impressed. Roadrunner, like you said, you've talked about reading levels and IQs, and I've said beep, beep, he's fast. I mean, my goodness, we have seen an unbelievable group. I mean, I think we need to talk about just the amount of Rocket League that we've seen tonight and the performance that the NECC as a whole is putting on tonight, Volt.
I mean, I've said it once, I'm going to say it again. I need a t-shirt at the beginning of next season that says, I'm just waiting for playoffs, because this is exciting. In my mind, after these games, this is a mild game, and we are back and forth. This should not be mild in my mind. I don't know what I'm thinking.
100%. I mean, obviously, it's not easy when you come off one of the best 5-game series that you've seen, but in most cases, I mean, this is a 2-1 lead against the 4 seed and the 5 seed, and I think it shows the kind of quality that the NECC is putting on the field. And guys, we are so blessed and so grateful that you are here watching this action. Make sure you stay with us at NECC Games. Again, that's NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram for live updates and giveaways and alerts and all kinds of fun stuff. But right now, it is myself, it is Voltage Plays, it is Game 4. Right now, will CMU advance to the next round, or will NTC push this to a Game 5?
Absolutely. NTC, the 5th seed in this tournament, are looking to make an upset here as they are down a game. As Jaron just said, they are playing for Game 5 while CMU is playing for a win. Boy back on the wall, misreads it. Roadrunner trying to find a teammate, not able to touch it there as Frauhan is the one to move it out. And a great slow play, but Gan was able to collect himself and get an opportunity. Phantom up from a pass from Roadrunner, and Boy pushes it out. What a demo coming out from Phantom. Gan, once again, creating pressure on the side of CMU. This team is a pressure cooker. It's relentless. It's not stopping. Oh, and Phantom almost scores that. Moving it back the other way. Gan last. And as I say, CMU has an offensive presence. Blast says, you talk too soon once again.
Man, what a goal. And what a slope. He swerved to the right, put the ball in the left side of the net, and the opponent was not able to get back on the defensive side. A massive goal. And it's going to go a long way to push this a Game 5 for NTC.
Absolutely. Early goal.
Oh!
Both teams. What? How? I didn't.
We'll have to look at the replay here, Voltage. It looks like Phantom played it in between 2 defenders. The defenders mix up. No one knew how to take it. He took it off the wall and put it in the net to tie this game up. Wow.
Hey, Phantom's done a summer reading. That's apparent.
Absolutely.
Boy. Oh, what a touch there from Phantom once again. It was quick. It was off the wall. It was unexpected. It could have gone in. Phantom trying to battle against Boy, who was last back. Roadrunner trying to find his teammate in mid as the rest of NTC scurries back to their half of the net. Blast goes flying past, bumps Gand out of the way. Phantom rotates back just in time as Koi Boy finds Blast in middle. Can Blast find the back of the net? Not able to do so. What a play there as Koi from his own wall, or the opposite wall, decides to find a teammate in midfield instead of trying to put it more towards the net. That was fantastic.
Absolutely. And another opportunity here, as we have seen Roadrunner and that Phantom Roadrunner combination has been so deadly. I don't want to take anything away from Gand, but man, those two have just been in sync, and it's impressive to see as Roadrunner with a big save as the ball was to the net.
Yeah, I think Gand has been in these plays as well, but I feel like for some reason, Phantom and Roadrunner find each other as Roadrunner makes an incredible pre-flip save.
It is a massive save, to say the least. Frohan, I thought there was going to be an opportunity.
Oh, Frauhan was getting excited and got in Koi Boy's way. I don't know if it would have gone in, but it was his turn to rotate out and let his teammates pick it up as Roadrunner from Gand find the back of the net to take the lead in game number 4.
And for those watching at home, one of the things that you're trying to say, Volt, I think, is the fact that if he could have maybe stepped to the side, if Koi Boy could have got out of the way, there would have been an opportunity and a shot on goal, and maybe he could have got a redirect. But instead, we have a double commit, and it leads to a third goal. Oh my goodness, 3 goals as Phantom, Roadrunner off of the backboard. The defender tries to hit it, and Phantom gets up in the air and puts it in the top right of the net. What a goal.
I mean, Frauhorn did a fantastic job to defend against something that has scored from CMU, but Phantom was just there to make another incredible play. Koi Boy, Blast, and Frauhorn need to string 2 goals together in the next 2 minutes, or their fall season is done, as this might be what's happening. Not able to, but Frauhorn puts it mid. Can Koi Boy move up in time? Koi Boy decides to move back. He was too far away from the ball. That was a smart play. Blast flying at the ball, not able to hit it. Phantom trying to find it. Roadrunner, what a pass. I mean, Roadrunner was like, hey, I'm here if you need me. And he was like, okay, it's open.
And CMU has just come out today. They get dropped the 1 game, but right now CMU has just said, you know what? We've got a date, and that is in the 2nd round. We are done playing around with this NTC team. Kudos to them, but it looks like we're going to see CMU advancing to the next round.
As everybody knows, I'm too afraid to commit to a side, but at this point, NTC will have to become.
Yeah.
I don't even have the words. They'll have to turn around and play Rocket League that we haven't seen them play, because that's exactly what CMU is doing here.
No, you're absolutely right. As the kickoff comes out, CMU has by far shown that they have played and been the better team today. It has been a valiant effort by this NTC team, but my goodness, CMU, Central Methodist University, is out here. They are impressive, and they are going to be a team to watch, as they are the number 4 seed in the Champions Division of the playoffs. And if the playoffs have been anything like they've said so far, but upsets can happen, and who knows what happens in round 2.
Well, I mean, we still don't know what technically happens in round 1. As I said, I don't want to give up too easily. NTC can string something together. They have the ability to do that. They just need to get the teamwork going. And at this point, with 50 seconds left, down by a goal, almost 2 is a great clear coming out from Blast. Blast has nothing but open field. Phantom trying to sprint back, not able to get a touch on it. Oh, and Blast with a great contest right in the front of the net. Roadrunner trying to bring it the other way, but Blast takes him out with a big blast. Bringing up the wall. Phantom's there, I'm sure, with low boost, as they all were just trying to get back. Oh, Koi Boy tries to find Frauhan in the middle of the net, but Phantom and the CMU team are bringing it back the other way here. 18 seconds on the clock with a 4-goal deficit is just too much to ask from this NTC team, as this is going to be a game won by CMU. Oh,
Absolutely. And just to add insult to injury, Gand puts the ball in the back of the net, 6-1, and CMU is going to be advancing to the next round.
I just fantastic play from the CMU team, and NTC played their heart out, but it just wasn't enough this time. How was this 6-3 game closer than this?
I don't know. I would think that it looks like CMU came out to play, and my goodness, did they do so. You have to give it again. We've said it before. We have to give it to NTC. They came out today, and they've been a great competitor here at the NECC. But tonight, Central Methodist University just too much, absolutely too much, and a massive win for that CMU squad. And congratulations to them, as I mean, it's a massive victory. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring Oliver Bass in here. Oliver, for you analyzing this thing and seeing what we're seeing, massive win here for the number 4 seed in the NECC playoffs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, massive almost might even be an understatement. They came out and they proved that they were the team to beat out of these two guys. I mean, I said it going into this. I said that they were a sleeper squad that we were all going to have to watch going into the rest of the playoffs. And after a performance like that in the last game, you got to imagine, yes, they are going to be a team that everyone should be scared of at this point.
Absolutely.
At this point, should we try to pick who is... Got you. Coach Shockley will join us very shortly so we can talk about his team's victory in the first round of the NECC Championship playoffs.
Absolutely. Very, very impressive what we've saw. And listen, while we're getting him in here so we can give him this interview, I mean, let's talk about what we saw today. We saw, CSUDH come in, defeat Alabama. And then obviously we are not going to skip over the fact that the number 3 seed, Kansas Wesleyan University, falls to the number 6 seed, St. Ambrose University, in a stunner. By far, I don't think either one of you guys who were on the call of that game will argue that I think that might be the vote for game of the year so far. For you, Volt, let's start with you. I mean, what do you think about the first round of the playoffs that we've seen here in the NECC so far?
I mean, nonstop action. I can't think, because play after play has just been stunning to watch. It's fantastic, and I'm excited for the rest of the playoffs.
That's fine.
Gotcha.
So we will have a player here shortly. And so for you, Bass, listen, man, we have seen, you have been here for all of this action. Actually, you know what, Bass, I'm going to come back to you as we have a man in the chat with us. We want to give a big shout out to Beep Beep. Not only he spends his days beating up on coyotes around the country, but today the Roadrunner takes it out on NTC. And hello to Roadrunner from the CMU team, man. How are you doing?
We're doing great. Coming off that win, we had a very close game 5 with very first game of the season, and we wanted to come out and show what we actually had the second time around. Coming off the first game, we had a lot of confidence, and taking the loss in the second game, we just regrouped, talked about our mistakes, and fixed them real quick, and then cleaned it up. So felt really good.
Absolutely. And Roadrunner, one of the things that I think is so impressive, you guys came out tonight and obviously were on point. We could tell that you guys were ready to go from the opening kick to the end. I mean, you guys were ready to go. Is that something that you and your team worked on, starting fast, being ready to go, knowing that it's playoff time and there's no room for error here?
Oh, absolutely. We talked before our game and said, guys, this is our time to shine, and we deserve to be where we're at. So let's show them what we have. Because going throughout the season, we thought, we're not ranking number 1, but it doesn't mean we can't get there.
Well, absolutely. We've said it multiple times. One of the most important parts of this bracketing system is just getting into the dance, just getting into the playoffs, and you guys did a very good job. I'm going to turn the floor over to maybe Voltage Plays, as Voltage might have a question for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so some basketball players have a sweet spot, and I saw you go for a shot from right above their net a couple times. Is that like your signature shot?
Not necessarily my typical shot or my signature shot, but we were feeling really confident. We were practicing our backboard reads, and it just happened to work out that time. So,
absolutely, and massive play. And listen, here's my question. All roads shift for you guys to the next round, and look, you're in the Champions Division. There are some extremely good Rocket League teams in this division, and you guys included. What are you and your team preparing to do as now all roads look ahead? Is now you're going to have to face, is it the 1 seed or the 2 seed? Guys,
Yes, one.
The number 1 seed in the tournament. So now you've already won the game that you're supposed to win. Now my question is, what will you and your team do to be prepared to face off against that number 1 seed here in the playoffs?
I think all we just need to do is really focus on ourselves, because we can look at each team and say, oh, we've beat this team, or hey, we've lost to this team, but all we know how to do is play our own game. And to be completely honest, I want to commend both of my teammates today because they played very well. I mean, we've had games where we've come out and just not played our best game, but I think today was one of our best we've had in a while. And I think as long as we come out with the confidence we did today, there's no team that can beat us.
Ooh, I love
Absolutely.
that.
Today was one of y'all's most consistent showings on stream for sure.
Understatement. Very, very well played all the way through, especially that final game. You guys really pulled away and showed the absolute dominance you guys have as a squad.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, again, we want to give a huge congratulations not only to Roadrunner, but the entire CMU Rocket League team and this entire CMU esports program. I'm sure that things are hyped over there right now, and we're going to let you go because I know that you've got another game that you have to start prepping for here in a couple days. And congratulations, and welcome to the second round in the NECC.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you later.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you being here. Guys, I mean, a very, very confident man. I mean, let's talk about a blurb saying, if me and my team are on and we play with this kind of confidence, there is not a team here that can beat us. I mean, Voltage, I think that's exactly how you have to be going into this playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. You could prepare for, how a team plays, and you can't change your play style to match that. Mm-hmm. You've got to be able to say, okay, this is how our play style would beat that. A small tweak here and there, but you can't say, oh, they play fast, so we'll play fast too, when you're normally a slow team. You play your own game and you just improve yourself as much as you can. And that was very well said by him.
Absolutely. And listen, Oliver, I want to turn to you as you saw all 3 of the previous matches here tonight. And man, we've had the match of the year and 2 dominant performances. And what is your take on everything that you've seen here at the NECC this evening?
Don't count anyone out. That's the biggest thing I can take away from all of this is we've got a ton of squads who are here and ready to play, and beyond being just ready to play, they're ready to dominate. I mean, obviously, you've got a ton of squads who are walking into this without a single loss on the season. Matter of fact, we've got 3 total. So there's a lot of squads here that they're not used to that pressure. They're not used to having squads come in here with the same amount of fire and power that they normally have. So it's going to be a test of a lot of these big name, undefeated squads. Can they do it when the pressure's on? They've done it during the season when it's a normal game, it's an everyday game, but it's different when it's playoffs, when it's do or die time. You either win or you go home. Those 7 wins you had during the season, they don't matter anymore. That's great. You got you past the first round. It's not going to get you anywhere past the second round. So coming into the next couple games, I hope that for the sake of all of the undefeated teams, for Illinois Wesleyan, for Durham, for everybody in here, for Montana, they need to be ready. They need to be ready that these teams are not going to be the same teams they've seen during the season. Not even close.
I love that. Go ahead, Bass. Or sorry,
I think today was proving that. I mean, if we take a look, and I don't hate to go back to it again. I mean, which game was it? The KWU versus St. Ambrose game. That was a 6 versus the 3 seed. And by far, the 6 seed looked like the better team.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, and I think the one thing about that game that you guys touched on a little bit, but I think it's also not like Kansas Wesleyan came out and started slow. They came out and won the first game. They started well. They played the first game. They won the first game. Did they win the first? I don't think they won the first two. They won
They did not. So the way that it
Right.
worked was that they won the first one, lost the second one, and then won the third one. So at a certain point, KWU actually had the advantage in the series score. The fact that they were able to come back to beat them. I mean, St. Ambrose, you talk about resilience. It's a whole different thing with that squad.
100%. And then for St. Ambrose to win those final two games of that match, I mean, like you said, every team needs to be prepared for what comes next, as the NECC playoffs does not pick favorites. The playoffs are here, and it's if you show up, you show up. If you don't show up, you go home and you don't get to move on. And ladies and gentlemen, it has been an amazing night tonight, and we want to remind you that tomorrow we get right back at it, as at noon, 12 p.m. Eastern in the morning, right around lunchtime. We will be here live as Valorant kicks off the first game of the NECC playoffs, followed by 4 Overwatch matches in the afternoon. So a full slate of NECC action. I will be there as your host through pregame and postgame. We have some amazing casters, from Connor Breeze to my friend Yelk Reb to Unicorn. We have a lot of great talent. I think our man Caleb Glooby will be doing a game of Valorant as well. It is going to be a fantastic day of esports. Thank you so much to all our partners, our friends at Reelys, our friends at MetaPro Gaming, Helix Esports, HyperX. The best gear in gaming comes to the NECC. And of course, for all of you watching at ESTV, we are so grateful. Thank you for tuning in on ESTV. And of course, we have to say, I think from myself and all the casters, we have to give a huge shout out to our friends in the Twitch chat. You guys were absolutely awesome tonight. You were amazing. One of the highest ranked games we had as far as views goes. Thank you so much for being there. So just thank you for supporting the NECC. Again, at NECC Games. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We have so much more coming, so many more things. And one last time, Oliver, in closing, Oliver, what do you got here, man?
What I got is that you guys do not want to look away for everything that we've got coming up. I mean, listen, if you thought the games today were tense, just imagine when we get into the next round and then the finals. This is best of 5s. Imagine a best of 7. We got that coming up for you guys in the finals. So we've got plenty of squads who are going to fight this out for the next couple of weeks. I mean, really, if you turn away for a second, you're going to miss all the action here. So like Jaron was saying, keep up to date. We're streaming on multiple different platforms. If you guys can't catch us on Twitch, you can catch us on Roku. You can catch us on Samsung. You've got us everywhere. So please, to everyone who came through today, keep up with the rest of this action from all the different esports that we've got here on the NECC. It's going to be a blast for the next coming weeks.
And Voltage Plays, we will see you later in the week with more Rocket League and some Valorant action as the playoffs goes on. What do you have in closing here tonight?
It's a different game. I am blown away. I keep saying it between the games. I'm like, we didn't have these 3 games back-to-back regular season. I'm worn out. I was rested before we started. Worn out.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us, and kudos to you guys, because us as casters, when we see you guys interacting, we see you loving the content, it makes our jobs that much easier. So stay with us online. You can see all of our @s underneath us. If you want to link up with us on social media, please do so. We very, very much appreciate it. For our commissioner, Jacob Van Ryan, we are grateful for him and his leadership. Thank you to our director of esports and executive producer tonight, Caleb Glooby, behind the scenes, making all the little changes and being there with us. Guys, thank you so much. For Oliver Bass, for Voltage Plays. Man, we are just getting started. The NECC playoffs is in full swings. And until next time, we will see you tomorrow at noon Eastern time. My name is Jaron Bell. Until then, stay beautiful, stay blessed. GG's, and welcome to the NECC. What a night. See you tomorrow.